clarity of nature on a working cattle ranch. Care for horses, learn responsibility, build trust, and rediscover purpose. It isn't theory, it's real work, real therapy, real healing. Families from across the country have found transformation right here, just when they thought hope was gone. If your teen is struggling with addiction, harmful online behaviors, even weight management, call right now and get the help you all need.
800-277-1280. 800-277-1280. 800-277-1280. That's 800-277-1280.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Westwood One presents Great Moments in Tournament History, brought to you by John Deere. Nothing runs like a deer.
The year Butler finally did it. A script so good, it could have been a movie. After several years of knocking on the door, Butler came crashing through in 2010 and made a historic run that captivated college basketball. Gordon Hayward led the mid-major Bulldogs past more heralded schools en route to an unlikely berth in the Final Four.
Second free throw, no good. Rebound, Hayward has it for Butler, and this ball game is over. And Butler, yes, Butler will play for a national championship on Monday night. Butler defeats Michigan State.
But the Bulldogs couldn't complete the Hollywood ending, falling just short to Duke in the final, 61-59. Nevertheless, Butler's memorable march is another great moment in tournament history.
97.7 The Zone. This hour of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by Talent Heating and Air. When you need service, rely on Talent. From system installations to tune-ups, rely on Talent. Online at talenthvac.com.
AL cert number 21014.
Welcome into the hottest and coolest game show around called The Freeze. Today's contestant, Bob. Bob, can you tell me the heating and air business that provides free service with repair?
Is it Talent Heating and Air Conditioning?
Can you tell me which heating and air business provides free second opinions?
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning.
You are our grand prize winner. You have won a visit from the #1 heating and air business in the Tennessee Valley.
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning?
That's right. Talent Heating and Air is coming to you.
This is Thomas with Talent Heating and Air Conditioning, and you don't have to win a game show to use us. We have free second opinions year-round, and we're doing free service calls with a repair. So just remember, call Talent Heating and Air Conditioning at 256-503-4490. Or visit us on our website at talenthvac.com.
Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
And away we go here on a Tuesday morning inside the VBC as we are in the front row, literally.
Bob Uecker would be proud.
Yes, he would. We are at the desk that is set for CBS Sports. So we're going to have to level up our game here this morning.
Wish it was Coach Raff.
Onions.
Yeah. Hopefully we see some.
The grand poobah of the event here. I'm going to just call you that, Joel Lamp. How are you this morning?
He has his own microphone, so.
I carry this around with me all the time now. I'm good. We're excited. It's a great week of basketball gets started today at 11:30. Appreciate you guys coming out. It's a fun week. Hard to believe it's here. But March Madness, let's go, baby. Let's go send 2 teams to the NCAA tournament this week.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. And I was just taking a look at both brackets last night, and it's just kind of weird. Well, but it's a credit to Conference USA on the women's side, though, that Middle Tennessee is not, number 1 seed this year. I mean, it's a lot of progress.
There is. We saw last year Liberty knocked them off in the finals, and now Louisiana Tech. We talked a little bit about it a couple weeks ago.
Renaissance
in the studio. I mean, now here they've come back in Florida International. They used to be good about 15 years ago. Now they're having a good year. In Missouri State, a former Final Four team. Hey, they're playing good. So we've got a really good women's side. It's going to be a very competitive tournament. And then we'll get started today with that one here at 11:30.
Yeah, and then Jack State playing today, both on the men's and women's side.
Big day for the Gamecocks.
Yeah, I mean, and that's your alma mater. I don't think people will mind me saying that. I mean, when you came to the studio last week, I mean, I noticed the red, the tint of red on the jackets.
I mean, it's a conference color. It's a conference color.
Is that what you're going with?
Yeah. Big day for the Gamecocks. The women's team has had some really good wins this year, and the guys. Every team that's on the guy side of the bracket is coming to Huntsville with the belief, if we do X, Y, and Z, we can go to the big dance.
Yeah, the men made a good run last year.
The men made a great run. The men made a great run to the finals. We saw them on Sports Center a number of times over the weekend after beating UTEP at the buzzer, and I don't think. When we say going to UTEP and win on the road, you're going across the country to win a basketball game in a very tough environment. That UTEP has a very strong fan base.
Yes.
And to go get that win on the road, there aren't a lot of teams that did that in the league. So now you're coming back here with a little bit of momentum, and you're going to face New Mexico State in a game that'll be a freaking battle tonight at 8:00.
And I didn't text Mike Paris. I probably should have. They have the newcomer of the year in the league, M squared. That's what I'll call him.
I'm telling you, he is
He looks exciting.
Oh my gosh, he is a freaking scorer.
Yeah.
And so when you look at these teams, all of them have 1 to 2 guys that can really go. And if they get hot, they're the guy who win you 3 games in 3 days. And when you look at and then you see Liberty, and Liberty's got 4 or 5 guys that they're kind of finding out, okay, who's the guy that we can get hot, who's got the hot hand that day. Let's go find a matchup and get them going.
I wonder how often do you talk to other host cities? Like I know Asheville just got through hosting the SoCon in that regard. How much communication is involved?
We talk with some other cities throughout the year about, okay, hey, how do you do this? Fort Worth, I talked to them a lot. Picking the brains of some people, okay, hey,
that are of like
situation. I'm not calling Madison Square Garden.
No.
Hey, how do y'all do the Big East tournament? A little different flavor. But hey, what are some things that we can take from hosting and doing different things around the country and incorporate it into us? We started, we've got our end zone deck. We've created that. One is kind of a meeting space. But 2, it's a really cool seat in the end zone.
Yeah.
It's courtside, and it's a really fun place.
You're elevated.
Elevated. We can activate it a little bit more, and you're behind the bands, so you don't get blasted with the horn section every time out. So we stole that from a couple of different places. Finding, like, we do our courtside suites, but we do that for every basketball event we do here in the VBC. So it's little touches. Our street pole banners outside, the look and feel of the building. When you hit Monroe and Clinton,
oh man, I just saw it today.
You start seeing that, hey, this is a big event that's happening at the VBC.
I mean, that's the thing. Well, I hadn't been back to the VBC probably since this event last year, to be honest with you, because with all my high school basketball stuff I did this year, we didn't have an event here.
Mm-hmm.
And so and again, Steve will let you know, I'm not the biggest hockey person. We'd love to have it. We draw, we do great. I'm just not a hockey guy. I admit it. But I just was going down the street, in front of the VBC.
Well, there was an event with Alabama men's basketball.
But see, I was on the road with Huntsville High. See, that ties back in. I would have been here for Kennesaw State, but I wanted to. I wanted to clone myself, but I couldn't. So, but the thing is, you going down the street, how much of the construction is done now? Because there was so much construction going on, and now it looks to be mostly done. And everything looks immaculate when you're going in front of the BBC. I mean, everything looks pristine and big time to me.
That's where one of the things, like we got the 3-year extension. One of the things that we continually talk about is, hey, how can we take it and elevate it?
Right.
Year one, we didn't have any activation across the street. Year two, hey, we put the floating sign in Big Spring Park. Hey, we keep adding little touches every year to it, trying to make it bigger and better. And the conference is growing. I mean, last year they were the number 8 conference in the country. This year they just all decide they're going to get in the middle and just beat each other up. And hey, nobody, Liberty was very good and got in the top. They're in the top 80 in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And they're a team that when if they're the ones that make it out of this on Saturday night, when they see whoever sees their name on the other side of the bracket, it's going to be like, holy crap, we've got to really work. And to a degree, I don't think there's anybody that comes out of here that isn't a threat to win a game next week in the tournament.
I think if it's Liberty, it would probably be the ceiling would be a 12 in one of those 5-12 games. Now, if you had somebody like Jack State, and I'm going to pump them too because that's my dad's alma mater, just like yourself.
Thank you.
I would say if 17, I'd say you're 15, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, there's a couple scenarios where
I don't think they're a 15 or 16 though.
Yeah. That's the thing is, and one of the things we've seen it with Miami of Ohio.
Yeah.
Well, Conference USA teams are in that battle. They can't get games against high majors.
No question.
Kennesaw was ecstatic
to play Alabama.
Here.
And I know in the past, Richie McKay played Alabama and was ecstatic to play them because he can't get games on his floor.
Right.
So if you can get a P4, P5 back in those days, but if you can get a Power 4 team to play you in a venue like this, it's big. So
it's perfect for Kennesaw State because they know they're coming back here.
Absolutely.
And he's going to recruit Alabama because R.J. Johnson, first team all league. And don't forget everybody, Caden Rickard from Bob Jones, the freshman on his team too.
And that's the thing you see. I love Coach Petway and what he's built at Kennesaw.
Yeah,
because
Trey Simpson as well.
He has mined this state really well.
Oh, he always will. Yeah,
and always will. But man, he has pulled out some really good players, and they've developed to a new level with him. And that's one of the things. Talking with my friends around college athletics, it's not just the guy that you got to be able to recruit, but now recruiting. Everybody's got the same Jimmys and Joes. How are you getting the guys better? How is Jimmy becoming James? And being that next level player. And Coach Petway, I mean, you talked about it. RJ has gone bananas.
Yeah, his last year of development, I mean, is just boom. He's gone from because he played some last year, but he was banged up, and then now, honestly, 2 years ago, I think he actually redshirted last year because he was hurt.
But honestly, Drew, that was a heck of a finish against Alabama because everybody thought that thing was done except for Kennesaw.
And then all of a sudden, here we are with a minute to go, and it's a 8-point game. It's like I finally sat down for a minute. I was like, "What did I was up talking with people, and it was a 20-point game, and now all of a sudden, it like." We may have this may last a few more minutes.
Well, and honestly, I remember Coach Oates turning that into a teaching moment of, your butt needs to get on the bench.
And that's where you're going to see. I mean, you look at it throughout this league, everybody has had moments where they have looked like the best team, and everybody's going to come in, fight, claw, crawl through whatever to win. And you're going to see tonight's two games, even though they're the four of the bottom six teams.
Yeah.
Remember, two teams didn't even make it here.
Yeah, that's right.
So we've got four teams here that are going to be battling it just to get the right to play on Wednesday. And they all feel like, hey, we can go rattle off 4 wins this week. And if you watch the Sun Belt Conference tournament, heck, you got teams winning 5 and 6 in a row.
Yeah.
Charlie Henry, Georgia Southern, he almost pulled it off.
Almost.
Yeah.
Troy Scott Cross got the dub, and then they're moving on.
Yeah. It was a good night for the Trojans last night.
Yeah, I mean it's great for the state, and then I hope Jack State can get a win tonight. I mean, I just hope it's great basketball. I've come both years to days of the tournament, and that's what I've always said, that in these one bid leagues, the sense of urgency is like right from the tip off. I mean, there's competition going on. Steve Lutz, who's now the head coach at Oklahoma State, he brought his Western Kentucky team in here in year one. They were the 3 and they won. They got hot. And then last year, Liberty won the deal, but I was following it from afar because I was going to Nashville, but to see some SEC tournament action. But I wanted to see how this was going after coming over for a day and watching Kennesaw. And Kennesaw nearly beat Liberty. That was a great game.
So one of the things that is unique about conference tournament basketball is like you get a team like Liberty.
Yeah.
Well, the best chance you may have to get them
is here
is the semifinal.
Yeah.
Because if they get to the finals, hey, they know how to win, guys. It ain't this ain't their first rodeo. And again, I go back and talk about the Miami of Ohio thing. There is an art form to winning, and being able to do that on a major basis is it's hard. And when you see a team like Liberty that's won 24, 25, 26 games, man, hey, they have come together as a team, and that's going to be the fun thing to watch them perform this week. Western Kentucky, you mentioned them. Guess what seed they are, buddy? Number 3.
Oh yeah.
You think that isn't floating around on the Western Kentucky message boards right now?
Of course. I mean, they have Liberty and Western Kentucky have very proud basketball traditions, no matter what league they've been in.
Oh, absolutely.
And then this league, they years ago they coined it Conference USA, but it had like when it was first got started, it was almost like more of a southeastern twang or southeast/southwest. Now it truly is.
Oh, we're spread out from
Conference
Delaware,
USA.
Delaware to we were talking about it before the
Blue
show.
Hens.
Yeah. Delaware to UTEP. I mean,
you got Delaware, UTEP, New Mexico State, Miami, FIU.
Wow.
You go throw a dart in the middle, and guess what? It probably falls around Huntsville.
And freshman of the year is from beginning. And I like the way these conferences have realized now you have to have a newcomer of the year because of the portal, and a freshman of the year. Freshman of the year is a Delaware Blue Hen. So, So we were ready for that.
And so it'll be it's going to be exciting to see who comes out of this. These first 2 to 3 days are going to be electric to see who gets to the semifinals, and then the men's semifinals at 11:30 on Friday. Starts at 11:30 on Friday, and those 2 games are going to be absolute wars. There, it's going to be fantastic.
What's the best way for folks to get tickets?
Best way is to come to the box office.
It'll be open.
Come to the VBC box office. You will shave a few dollars off Ticketmaster fees.
Yeah, the fees. Yeah.
And I know we all love paying the Ticketmaster fees.
Yeah.
But you can also go to Ticketmaster and buy online. We've got 1 suite left for the championship game. So if anybody's interested in that, you can find me on Twitter at Joel Lamp. Be more than happy to set you up. But it's a fun week. We're excited to have it, and it's a great partnership. We talked about the extension going for 3 more years through 29, but we've also added their beach volleyball championship for 27 through 29, and we've got their cross country in 26 and 28.
Nice.
So it's building more and more, and just getting that brand identity in Huntsville more and more as a championship city. So it's a great partnership.
How did gymnastics go last week?
Gymnastics was awesome. Really good experience. The kids had a great time, and we played well on TV. And part of a big piece of this is, and we know this living here, we know it's a great place to live, work, and play.
Yeah. Right.
But as we get these companies coming in, hey, we need to have that quality of life additions. Hey, the last thing any of us want to hear is, oh God, there's nothing to do in Huntsville. There's stuff to do. And I mean, and Huntsville's grown up a little bit now.
I believe that. I think that's a great way to put it.
And so for us to have events like this that are live from Huntsville, Alabama.
Hashtag Rocket City Hoops.
Hey, having these events on national television, okay, now that elevates us up a little bit more. That means more. So, hey, when gymnastics is on, hey, live from Huntsville, that means something. We're going to have 4 games on national TV this week here. Okay, hey, it changes. We're telling our story in a different way about Huntsville, which is fantastic for us.
Always good to see you.
Good to see you, Joel. Great job as always, man.
Appreciate you guys being here bright and early.
Bright and early.
But hey, we're live, baby. We are live in the BBC.
Well, this is the CBS Suites. Going. Brent Musburger yeah, that's right. Is all good. We got a lot on our table here today, including conversation Drew and I had with Coach Jon Sumrall, the new football coach at the University of Florida. We'll have that for you later on. Just getting things started. It's Tuesday morning. It's Talkin' Ball, and we're live from the VBC. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Basketball fans, get ready as the Conference USA Basketball Tournament is set to return to the Rocket City and Probst Arena March 10th through 14th, featuring 20 men's and women's basketball teams playing 18 games with Conference USA titles and NCAA automatic bids on the line. It's 5 days of exciting hoops action at BBC Probst Arena. Jump into the action by getting your tickets now by visiting Ticketmaster.com. And we'll see you inside the BBC March 10th through the 14th. Come find out who will be putting on their dancing shoes.
ALCR number 21014.
Welcome into the hottest and coolest game show around called The Freeze. Today's contestant, Bob. Bob, can you tell me the heating and air business that provides free service with repair?
Is it Talent Heating and Air Conditioning?
Can you tell me which heating and air business provides free second opinions?
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning.
You are our grand prize winner. You have won a visit from the #1 heating and air business in the Tennessee Valley.
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning?
That's right. Talent Heating and Air is coming to you.
This is Thomas with Talent Heating and Air Conditioning, and you don't have to win a game show to use us. We have free second opinions year-round, and we're doing free service calls with a repair. So just remember, call Talent Heating and Air Conditioning at 256-503-4490. Or visit us on our website at talenthvac.com.
Check out our latest zone deal.
Field Day. With spring break coming up, there's no better way to save some money and stay in town at Huntsville's go-to spot for fun, flavor, and unforgettable memories. Whether you're here to watch the big game or create your own memories, it's Field Day, our latest zone deal.
Just head over to our website, 977ESPN.com. Zone deals on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You always said cards will never do you wrong.
Back here with you on Talkin' Ball. Still no Scott Tyson. He's still swimming up in Evansville, Indiana with the NCAA championships. And that's another, town that has a lot of events
going on.
And Huntsville, no different, as once again, this is the third year in a row and able to get the
the Indianapolis is going to have something called the Final Four.
Something like that.
Big deal.
Yeah.
A triple order of onions.
But nonetheless, we're here courtside getting ready for the Conference USA men's and women's basketball tournament. And we've seen the progression here, and it just looks different from year one to year three in particular. But the floor is new.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The floor they got for the Alabama Kennesaw State Elites, that's when they unveiled it. But it is sharp.
Yes, it really is.
And there is no ice underneath as well.
Well, because I dressed accordingly. I put on some sleeves, wasn't sure, because I've been here in the past where they did have the ice underneath. And trust me, it was a little frigid.
I
a
swung
little
by
cool.
But they also have a new subfloor, too.
Oh.
So even the Alabama Kennesaw State game, the ice was still here. Wasn't as bad as it has been because they bought a new subfloor. And I know everybody was probably wondering about the event that it just is what it is last year with the leak that happened.
Oh, that was crazy
because fixed
because I was following that from afar as well. And I was wondering, what is the delay going on? And then I saw it on social media and I was like, wow. So there's a leak in the roof. And I think that
everything's,
that was about an hour and a half.
Especially after last night.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
It poured.
I'm telling you, this place is dry as a bone. And so it's all good here for another year of the Conference USA. And it's nice to have them as partners. It it does feel like a good fit with Conference USA here in Huntsville.
It is, and the only small issue, and it's been out there in the social media. We understand that Louisiana Tech is going to leave this conference at some point in time. I mean, I think we all understand that. I think they're going to be headed to the Sun Belt. It's a lot of red tape, things of that nature. But you know how it is when the dominoes start moving around, then somebody else will replace them. So it'll be an opportunity for another university to move into this league. And I think it's been good for a place like New Mexico State, who when I was growing up, Steve, they were in the Big West.
That sounds right.
Playing UNLV and all those teams, and they had good teams, but it was hard to beat Talkin, those guys, in pre-NIL, NIL. But still, I think they're a brand that's underrated. Just because they're out there in kind of a desolate state from the standpoint that there's not a lot going on. But the New Mexico State Aggies have an underrated brand. That's where Chris Jans came from before, he went to Mississippi State. He did a great job getting to the NCAA tournament. And I think people need to remember in the 2019 run for Auburn to the Final Four, if it's not for some missed free throws, then Auburn doesn't get out of the first round against Chris Jans in New Mexico State.
That's right.
Those runs are funny the way they happen. It's just like I remember in 2004 when Alabama went to the Elite Eight unexpectedly. They were, I think, an 8 seed. They played Stanford in the second round. And Stanford was one of the top 4 teams in the country, Mike Montgomery and those guys. And they had a big lead on Alabama in the second half. And then all of a sudden, Alabama, Petway, Ernest Shelton, Kennedy they caught fire.
Yeah.
They started making threes. And then they ended up winning a great game with Stanford and sending the Cardinal home. And they went on to the Elite Eight. And UAB that year as well. They beat Kentucky, if I remember correctly.
They did.
And I think Kentucky was a 1. So I'm sure Jeff that's a memory he doesn't want to, go there. But
was that Mike Anderson?
Yes. That's before he that's where he got UAB. Matter of fact, it was a really cool moment for the state because the Sports Illustrated had Chuck Davis and UAB on the front, because it was a big deal because Alabama and UAB both went to the Sweet 16. So
it was their version of 40 Minutes of Hell, the Nolan Richardson.
Yeah,
influence.
Exactly. And Mike Anderson really had it going there for a while at UAB.
Sure did.
He did a great job. And now Andy Kennedy's done a really good job. They had the weirdest season I think I've ever seen.
No home win. It feels like no home wins and all road wins.
They went undefeated. How do you undefeated on the road, but you can't win one at home? I mean,
and
amazing.
By the way, my brother has season tickets, and I'd get a call after every game, usually on a Sunday, going, "Yep, lost again. Yep, lost again. Yep, lost again."
Because Coach Kennedy, I can't believe I think this is already his 6th year at UAB.
Jeez.
And people forget the great job he did at Ole Miss.
Second go-around.
Yeah, because he won the SEC tournament at Ole Miss.
He did. He did.
With my man Henderson. And then he went to the NCAA tournament multiple times. I'll give him credit. The pavilion wouldn't be built without him winning as much as he did. Because
that's the truth right there.
Because he stayed over a decade at Ole Miss, and I just think and then going back to UAB was a natural fit once he took a year off. I go back far enough to know people forget this too. His first head coaching opportunity was as the interim coach at Cincinnati when Bob Huggins got fired.
That's right.
And he did a good job with that group. So he's always been a guy that you thought would be a head coach, and he's done well, and they have a chance in their conference tournament. Certainly, they, like you said, Steve, they've had a really weird season, where they play better on the road. But the conference tournament's on the road, so at least I believe it is. So you never know. Just like we're looking forward to this getting started, and maybe we'll have a Cinderella run in this tournament.
We very well could be the case, and Jacksonville State playing later on today, and the Conference USA men's and women's basketball tournament. We are here. Tom Abraham, he'll be here as well, as we're literally on the front row, and it's kind of cool to be here inside the VBC, right here in our own backyard, hosting a 2 teams that will get an automatic berth into the big dance. Well, NFL was big news yesterday.
Lord.
And we have yet to really dive into the movers and shakers there, as an NFL Super Bowl MVP moved to another team, as well as a team that went from an Alabama quarterback to an Auburn quarterback. And we talked a little bit about that yesterday, but we'll dive into some of the moves that happened in the National Football League. And honestly, who has the most salary cap space as well? There's one team just north of here that has quite a bit of room, and they need it as well because they've earned another high draft pick after what happened last year up in Nashville.
But they're getting some high marks, though, and they signed a local kid from the area, Alante Taylor, at corner. They spent some money yesterday. Alante played at Tennessee and was a really good all-conference level corner, and has had a solid NFL career and just signed with the Tennessee Titans. So that'll be a good move for him coming home to his home state because he's from the Tullahoma area, I believe, and so that's great for him. And I know a guy that has been kind of pivotal in his development growing up and was there for him because he played a lot of basketball and football, was an elite athlete, and he's stayed in the NFL for a while now. And then they also signed Cordell Flott, I believe, and Flott is from Mobile. So, I was watching some the ESPN programming yesterday, and a lot of people think the Titans helped themselves quite a bit with the moves that they made, and you hope that's the case, man.
We'll dive into that, as well as also coming up on the program, we'll hear from BP as we'll talk a little Alabama Crimson Tide basketball. Is they're not playing till Friday, by the way.
Right.
And we'll get kind of an overview, and we'll also talk with another champion, and that is Joel Vandermeter. First time I can ever say that about, and that's really weird to say that.
Well,
because
they were
Joel
just an elite program for a while.
But they had a really good team, I want to say, about 3 years ago.
He's had several, man, because he's been there a dozen years. They've been knocking on the door,
Yep.
and they had regionals that were so
bust through
tough
that door.
at Jack State. But this was the year everything lined up. When we saw them in the City Classic finals against Huntsville, we all commented that we thought, that's a team that we're going to probably see in Birmingham, very likely, and this may be their year. And it was. And Jalen Alexander, their leader, is such a special player. He'll be playing at Belmont next year as a Bruin on a stage very similar to this.
Yeah.
And he is a big, big time player. I think he should be Mr. Basketball. I know there's some other great talent in our state, no doubt about it. But I just seeing him, the way he played in the Classic, he would have been MVP if they had won the tournament. Evan Tom's got that award because it's kind of like a situation where you could tell that he was one of the two best players in the tournament, just like you could tell the same thing that LeBaron Philon was the best player. And really, Jalen was probably the best player this past year, even though Evan Thomas was dominant. I'm not going to take anything away from him at all. But just you could tell how special Jalen Alexander was. And then, you could just like you could tell with LeBaron Philon. And I think, Belmont stole one there. I think he's going to be an outstanding player. He does everything well. He's been a 4-year starter for Coach Vandermeter in a program that is, consistently excellent. And now they put a explanation point on it with the way they beat just a really, really good Coleman team that went on a heater. And what a performance by Joel Vandermeter and Jalen Alexander. To me, I think I think he really deserves to be voted Mr. Basketball in this state this year.
Your phone calls are welcome as well. We're open for you at 256-576-4977. Let's go ahead and take our second time out to the NFL news headlines. Free agency, the frenzy that started yesterday at high noon. It's a Tuesday morning. We're live here at the BBC. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. We stay warm as we head into the overnight. Temperatures only dropping into the mid and upper 60s. Mostly cloudy skies as we head into your Wednesday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 70s, lower 80s. Another opportunity for some strong and severe thunderstorms Wednesday evening as we head into the overnight, early into your Thursday morning.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Truck Month is on at Woody Anderson Ford. Right now, save $13,000 on 25 F-150, $9,500 on 25 Super Duty, and $5,000 on 25 Maverick. Get financing as low as 0% for 60 months, plus $1,000 bonus cash on select models. 25 Lightning, F-150, or Super Duty, 0 down payment and 0 payments for 90 days. All incentives applied, all MSRP with approved credit. Offers end 3/31/26. Call 539-9441 for complete details. Nobody does Truck Month like Woody Anderson Ford.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofits that support our local educators and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement, it's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member member FDIC.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
For those of you watching on WZZN TV, not camera shy anymore. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go.
And by the way, I got a text from one of our listeners, our good friend Freddie Kirby, and I was close. Alante Taylor, Coffee County in Manchester, Tennessee, 15 minutes from Titan Stadium. So the ticket requests will be plentiful. He'll probably need his own suite.
Well, in terms of most salary cap space, the most salary cap space belongs to the Raiders at $119.3 million. Titans are second at $89.7 million. The Washington Commanders / Redskins are $85.5 million, followed by the Chargers at $81.2 million. Then the Jets at $66.7 million, where we find our friend Minka Fitzpatrick into the witness protection program there for the New York Jets.
I take it as a positive, though, because Minka's been in the league nearly 10 years, okay? And when you play that long, and at one time he was the highest paid safety in football when he was with the Steelers, that means you've played at a very high level. And think about this. They only gave up a 7th-round pick to acquire him from Miami for the second time in the fire sale for the Miami Doorknobs. And so the Jets are willing to give him a 3-year, $40 million contract. And when you're in your early 30s, that's pretty significant. So I give Minka a lot of credit. I hope he plays well and plays so good they trade him to a contender.
The Doorknobs now have Malik Willis as their quarterback.
Who is his coach again?
Yeah.
So it'll be a disaster.
Yeah.
Hugh Freeze.
Yeah, I we'll see what happens. Listen, he is getting a ton of love right now. I'm amazed about the amount of love that Malik Willis is getting.
He was terrible as a young player with the Titans when he got a chance to play. When mayonnaise in his coffee flopped, like I knew he would. Because
Levis,
when he was never any good at Kentucky either. Levis had one decent year. I knew he was never going to be the answer as a 2nd-round pick. I don't care if he can throw the ball 80 yards, but he didn't have it up in between the ears. And Willis wasn't very good either, but he obviously did enough.
But this is what the NFL does. Anthony Richardson.
Yeah,
I think we all saw
that he can only do a backflip.
That's pretty much it.
It'll be interesting to see where he lands. But obviously, Willis, I remember his draft process because he did do a great job at Liberty. And there were some that had him in the 1st round. It didn't happen. He ended up being like a 2nd-round pick, if I remember correctly, or a 3rd rounder. I think it was a 3rd rounder, actually. And
I do like the Falcons picking up Tua.
Yeah, and so
league minimum.
But
he's also getting paid $54 million by the doorknobs.
But here's the thing,
not to play.
Yeah, but here's the thing with Malik Willis. I'll give him credit for this. Obviously, he took advantage of an opportunity to impress some people as a backup QB that got in and played, and so that's why he's getting this opportunity with the Dolphins. But I'll also caution, the Dolphins didn't give him like frontline starter money because you just answered the question. They're having to eat, $54 million with Tua, so they're not going to
this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They got to eat that. So they were gonna go try to get a mid-level starter for mid-level money and maybe hit the lottery and then hope that Malik Willis is ready to be the dude. But I don't think he is. He may prove me wrong. But then I agree with you. Tua going to Atlanta, Penix. It is interesting. I haven't, John.
I don't know how to feel about Stefanski. I know
he's highly
Tom
thought
likes
of.
him. I think John likes him back at the ranch, but I don't know what to think of Kevin Stefanski.
Well, I mean, he did win some games in Cleveland and was coach of the year twice. And then he's good.
I wanted Harbaugh. That's who I wanted.
Yeah,
I wanted Harbaugh.
And he's good with quarterbacks. And it's very interesting. John McClain, our great friend, who's an encyclopedia, he might be able to remember the last time an NFL team had their top two QBs be lefties, which is very interesting because with Penix and Tua, because the ball comes out different. But now if Penix gets hurt, it's really not changing a whole lot. And I think there's a decent chance Tua may be the starter for the Falcons at the beginning of the season because of the injury to Penix.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So they're probably not going to rush him back. And so Tua will get the chance that, that we saw with Malik Willis. Malik, he did a lot of his good stuff with Green Bay.
He did.
And with a good team. And so the Falcons seem to have a good young roster. Maybe Tua can get out there for a few games, play well like Mac Jones did with Frisco and create value for yourself.
Richard is on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Good morning, Richard.
Morning, Richard.
Hey, morning, guys. Hey, I was talking about Andy Kennedy. The AAC's in Birmingham, men and women.
It is in Birmingham, but it's not. It's
not a home game.
Yeah,
it's over at Legacy.
Is it in Legacy?
It's in Legacy. Yeah, because the men and women are there, I guess, all week. So
okay, so
technically not a home game.
So technically. Kennedy's probably actually happy about that. Put it on a neutral floor.
So, so 2 miles away or so, but not a home game. So. What's wild is, you got the tournament, and here in Huntsville, you got, that one in Birmingham, then you got the SEC in Nashville, all within 100 miles of each other.
Right up the 65 corridor.
Yeah. Wow, you can see a lot of hoops.
Yeah.
A lot of good hoops here in the next, week or so.
Yeah, no doubt.
So when are you heading up, Drew? You going tomorrow or just wait until Friday?
Oh, no, we're waiting until Friday.
When does Bama play?
They play Friday at 6. I'm hoping to go up there. It's maybe catch some of the afternoon session on Friday. We'll see.
So you're gonna catch some CUSA?
I'm definitely gonna try to catch some of the CUSA. I mean, when it's in your backyard and it's this kind of high level basketball, it's really cool to watch. And I'm definitely gonna at least try to catch it at least one day here and watch some quality basketball. And then
I've got a rooting interest myself with Liberty,
of course. DJ,
yeah, that's right. D-Rock is still part, and they're the 1 seed heading into this, and they'll take on the FIU Missouri State winner.
It's interesting.
Which is later on this evening.
I did see the way they did the bracket. That there's I guess is it the 3 seed that gets 2 days off?
That both the 4-5
or the 4-5 game. I'm sorry,
the 3-6
and the 3-6. They get 2 days.
Yeah, they get both 2 days off.
But the quarterfinals are stretched over 2 days, not
correct.
one.
And
it's a little bit different.
It is both the women's and men's tournaments. So that's
going
why
on concurrently.
That's why it's starting today and going through the week.
Going through Saturday.
Yep.
Drew, you want me to tell anything? I'm going up to watch Big Blue Nation tomorrow at noon. You want me to tell Jeff anything for you?
He won't be there. He had to go. He had to go get a carton of Marlboros.
So I'll be up there pulling for we're watching the Cats in Auburn tomorrow. So I'll be up there on Wednesday, heading up tomorrow morning. So.
Well, and you remember he did go to Middle Tennessee, so he'll be keeping an eye on this too for the Middle Tennessee men and women. Yep, he did. He went there. That is a fact. So he'll have his eyes on multiple games, I'm sure. But it is interesting that Kentucky's having to play on Wednesday, and they're not dealing with it very well, I don't think, because
I don't think they are either. Because I mean, they kind of every time they lose, they throw everybody on the team under the bus, pretty much. And the coach, so.
Oh, it is. It's so funny because they convinced themselves they were going to upset Florida and then get the double bye. And then it didn't happen. And you go from the double bye, and then they're like, I think we're playing on Wednesday. That would be correct. So, and they're like, we might even be playing at lunchtime. So the Cat's not used to that. But, they could still go on a run. We will see, Richard. I don't really see it. I think they're good, not great. And I think I think, I was told I didn't get to watch the Florida game. I followed it, but Dick Vitale was talking about how they were a good roster, not a great roster, because they don't have a couple of superstars that you would think Kentucky would have. And what's so fascinating, and I know you keep up with it, Richard, Alabama got the Jackson Richardson commitment, big time kid, top 25 in the country, McDonald's All-American. And Kentucky has no signees from the early period or commitments right now.
They've kind of, they don't like, I guess Barnhart's retired, but however they're doing their NIL, the Cat fans don't like it, and I guess these player agents don't like the way. I don't know exactly, what they're doing. But they don't like the way they're kind of handling the NIL, where these agents are kind of telling the kids to stay away. Although I did see, the Stokes guy may go there, but I mean he's had a lot
Tyron
of
Stokes,
off the court problems, and so it may just be by default out. But they're not getting the high school studs they did with Cal. And Cal's still getting them at Arkansas though.
Yeah, because they ain't got no Darius A cuffs.
No, not
they don't.
Or even a Thomas. Oh, the center, Marino was freshman of the year. On the freshman team, the center.
Oh, he's a good player. There's no doubt, and they may bring a lot of these guys back too. So they may not be that. May be why they're not being as aggressive. But I'll just say this: just watching it, and I don't like dealing with him either because I don't like the way he treats the media and just his overall aura. But it's obvious to me that Mark Pope ain't Rick Pitino. Okay. So, I mean, they were all excited because he brought the 96 team off a bus and all this stuff and yada, yada, yada. But I'm just saying his in-game coaching it's left a lot to be desired because you never know which Kentucky team's going to show up. And so I think he'll get another year, but he better show some dramatic improvement.
He's not Billy Gillespie.
No, he's not Billy Gillespie. That's very true. I don't see that.
I've set the bar very low.
He might be hanging with Billy pretty soon because Billy got I guess either got forced retired or retiring at the year. He may be hanging out.
Did he really?
Oh yeah, he left Charleston State, bro. There's I'm sure there's some whiskey in his future if you know anything about Billy. But I'll just say this about Kentucky. I said it before. I felt like instead of hiring Pope, they sort of panicked and they should have waited on Billy Donovan because he's that good. To me, that's their next move. You've got to see if Billy Donovan, if you can get him away from the NBA. Because, look, I thought about this. Think of all the high-profile coaches that went to the NBA and failed. And I'm talking about Hall of Fame level coaches.
Yeah.
Rick Pitino was okay. He was decent. He wasn't great. He came back after,
the best example is Larry Brown.
Larry did the best, but I don't consider him. I don't put him in that category because Rick did okay, but the Knicks Celtics, he came back to college.
Mm-hmm.
Lon Kruger, the Hawks, disaster. Jerry Tarkanian with the Spurs, disaster. John Calipari with the Nets, disaster. Yeah. All these guys are Hall of Fame coaches.
Both directions, even. I mean, pretty much both directions.
Yeah, and then
pro to college too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They don't translate when you go. Like Avery Johnson, not good. Damon Stoudemire, disaster. I mean, I don't know, man. Reggie Theus is still in college, but he's already been fired more than one time.
I saw a list the other day on X. Avery Johnson was on this list. Avery Johnson.
Chris Mullen.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, there's been so many of these. Patrick Ewing, great example.
Mike Woodson with Indiana. I mean, had the highest payroll last year and, got fired. So, I mean, it didn't translate either way pretty much.
Well, see, and that's why when people ask me, is Nate Oates going to go to the NBA? I say, you better be careful, because he does coach an NBA style, but it's just, it's a very tough transition, especially if you go to the wrong organization.
Richard, we have got to head off to a break.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Thank you so much.
Yep. See you guys later.
Ray Dog, hang on with us. We'll be right back to your phone call, 256-576-4977.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loaders from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best. And this machine has it all, with features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Thompson Tractor knows how much value you place on your customer satisfaction. It's how you build your business. It's also how we build ours. Since 1957, hardworking folks like you have counted on Thompson to provide the absolute best lineup of equipment in the industry, all backed by a customer service and product support team that time and again have proven to be second to none. It's all about maintaining peak performance. Always has been, always will be. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
Eat, drink, compete. Welcome to Field Day, Huntsville's go-to spot where every day feels like a win. Catch the big game or create your own with chef-driven bites, craft cocktails, self-serve beer, and games that keep the fun going. And don't miss happy hour. 50% off drafts and appetizers, plus $5 margaritas and wells. Life's better when you play, so grab your friends and make it a win at Field Day, University Drive, Huntsville. Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
The Orthopedic Center. It's in the name. TOC, the premier choice for all your orthopedic needs. With over 40 physicians and 20 centers of excellence, TOC is the name to trust for complete, expert orthopedic care. And that word center, we mean it. With more than a dozen locations across North Alabama and the Tennessee Valley, TOC is in your community whenever you need us. As the state's largest orthopedic practice, TOC is built on trust. Trust we've earned with every patient we serve. You can see that trust on the field, too. As the official sports medicine provider for the Huntsville Havoc, Huntsville City Football Club, Oakwood and Alabama A&M universities, thousands of athletes and coaches count on TOC to keep them in the game. From student athletes to unexpected injuries, our urgent ortho clinics offer prompt, expert care. No appointment necessary. So remember, when it comes to your health and mobility, trust the name that says it all. TOC, helping you live a better life.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama, located online at universitykia.com.
Hip, hip. Back inside the VBC here. It's a Tuesday morning edition of Talkin' Ball. No Scott Tyson, Steve Moulton, Drew DeArmond here with you on a Tuesday morning, and let's try to squeeze in Ray Dog before we hit the top of the hour. Good morning, Ray Dog.
What's up, Ray?
Round ball Nirvana is here.
Come on.
Yes.
Come on.
And by the way, I take a little umbrage with you saying Calipari was a failure at the NBA level because he did make the playoffs.
Okay, well, I don't remember that. I it's a while
All
back.
I know is Larry Bird ain't walking through that door.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I tend to agree with Mark Pope's got a short leash.
Yeah.
But Kalen DeBoer can tell him all about short leash.
Yeah.
That's the standard.
Yeah.
And you
It
either
is.
need
It's
it or
fair.
they'll find someone who will.
Yeah,
That's fair.
That's very, very well put, Ray Dog. I would agree.
Yeah. What is the minimum win total that Alabama has to win this year?
Oh, I think they need to make the playoffs. I mean, I think, and win double-digit games. The funny thing is,
This was without knowing who your starting quarterback is, changes along the court, and I mean, just anyway.
As they said on the Chuck Oliver show, they've only got 11 starters returning, basically. So there's not a lot of experience returning. There's been a lot of portal changes, but you got to adapt. And I do think the schedule is beneficial to start the season to try to get the pieces put together.
1 in the books, 2 to go.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
In the SEC basketball tournament tomorrow, the Auburn Tigers are set to play Mississippi State. Auburn enters the matchup as a 7.5-point favorite. On the money line, the Tigers are minus 280, while Mississippi State is plus 240. The total is set at 160.5. Atlanta Hawks are back in action tonight. They are at home as the Hawks take on the Dallas Mavericks. The Atlanta Hawks trying to extend the win streak to 7 straight games. Atlanta's 33-31. The Hawks are a 9.5-point favorite over the Mavericks, who are currently on a losing skid. The total is 239.5. With your VSiN Action Update, I'm John Thayer on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You can now do more without it costing you more. Alabama's attractions have come together to offer the all-in-one ticket that downloads to your mobile device. No matter how many attractions listed on the ticket you see during the time span you bought, your price stays the same. Pick the right ticket option that best fits your schedule, and then enjoy more attractions without spending more. All-in-one tickets for different areas of Alabama are available at alabama.travel and other places where online tickets are sold. Brought to you by Alabama Tourism Department, the ABA, and this station.
Hey, brother. Saw you call.
John, I've been thinking about our days during the war, and
I'm on my way.
Thanks, man.
If you're a veteran struggling with depression, anxiety, or need someone to talk to, call 800-273-8255. Press 1. It's private and free 24/7. Call 800-273-8255 or visit vetsforhope.com. Sponsored by the Partners of Alabama's Challenge and the Alabama Broadcasters Association.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic and Spine Center. Online at sportsmedalabama.com. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
This hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center. They invite you to give them a call today at 256-881-5151 to experience the SportsMed difference. SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, dedicated to providing care that improves lives. Yesterday, Drew and I had the privilege to talk to the first-year head coach and Grissom graduate, And Jon Sumrall, I did want to tell you right out of the gate, Florida and LSU don't play this year.
I have to get used to that because they used to be permanent opponents.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
but I'm
Not
guessing.
the case.
I'm guessing now with the rotating schedule. Now they'll play them every 2 years.
That's right. But not playing
this year.
They open up against Florida Atlantic and then Campbell before traveling to Auburn, which you could dub as the Summerall Bowl.
Yeah,
because that was ultimately what it was down to, Auburn or Florida. And here is our conversation we had with first-year head coach Jon Sumrall. Do you know what it's like now to be the belle of the ball in terms of being a high-level recruit? Because were you as sought after out of high school as you were this cycle go-around, Coach?
No, in high school, trying to get people to give me a scholarship to play Division I football, I felt like I was trying to have to trick them or beg them to let me be on their team. I've been really fortunate, man, to have enough success in this coaching deal that the phone calls have been many and have been prevalent, and it's really that's a credit to so many people that have been around me. I've been very fortunate to have great coaches and great players on staffs and teams that I've been able to lead, and a lot of phone calls that I told my mom and my brother, I'm like, and my wife, I'm like, it's amazing. 10 years ago, I felt like I couldn't get many people to pick up my phone call. And now I have more people call my phone than I could pick up for. And so come a long way.
Well, and Coach, I watched your press conference when you were introduced. It was an amazing afternoon for you. I know it was a whirlwind. You were still preparing your team when you were at Tulane for the college football playoff. But one of the coolest parts, and I've been blessed to have a very brief interaction when I covered a Gator Bama basketball game in Gainesville to interact with Steve Spurrier. And he's a legend, and he certainly was finishing his career at Florida as you were starting your playing career at Kentucky. But he's still a legend in Gainesville, and I know he's still very, very, visible and supportive. And I know Urban Meyer was there for your press conference as well. And those two men basically have had the most success at the place that you're at now, and have proven that you can win at the highest level. What's it been like, kind of building relationships with those two?
Oh, it's been great. As I went through the process of deciding what to do in regards to taking a job or not, I had the opportunity to speak with Urban a couple of times about this job, and then Coach Spurrier as well. And for both of them to be present at the formal announcement, the introduction of me being the head coach here, was very special and cool, because you're looking at it, two college football Hall of Famers and guys that walk the same walk I'm walking, and achieved incredible success here at this university. And so for me, it was really neat that they were there, and then really awesome that they've continued to make themselves available as a resource. Coach Spurrier, somebody, I've told him, I said, Coach, he still lives here in Gainesville. And I'm like, Coach, you're always welcome at our facility, at our practices, whatever. And I didn't get a chance to see him Saturday, but he came and hung out and watched a little bit. And I was so busy coaching, by the time I got done, he had left. But he's such a colorful and entertaining personality, and such an authentic person. And then same with Coach Meyer. Coach Meyer is speaking at our coaches clinic here in a couple of weeks, and to have a friendship and relationship with both those guys, and to be able to draw upon their experiences and maybe ask for advice if I'm ever going through something that I might need some help with. They're just a phone call away.
That's awesome. What are the early returns, Coach, at least from what you've seen on the field?
50 new players.
Yeah, we got a lot of new players. We're 3 practices in. Our guys have been eager. They're working extremely hard. We have a lot of work to do. We're not here because everything was just set up to walk in and just not have to work real hard and just be fortunate enough to win. We have to put in a lot of work. We got a long way to go. I'm excited about the buy-in. The guys are doing what we ask of them. But we have a lot of improvement that needs to be made individually and then team wide for us to have any opportunity to have success in the short term.
Well, it felt like, and just watching that Tulane team last year for you, Coach, and then through that journey, that team found ways to win at critical times. Of just how special of a year was that last year for you, Coach?
It was special. Those guys, that Tulane team had 5 returning starters. Our left tackle and our left guard on offense, an interior D lineman, an inside linebacker, and a safety on defense. And so the fact that a team that won 9 games the year before and made it to a conference championship game but lost and didn't finish really well, had so much roster turnover and found a way to go win 11 games in a conference championship and make the CFP was really gratifying. Those guys, we won games, like you said, a lot of different ways. We won some low-scoring close games. We won some shootouts. We won some blowouts. We got blown out twice by Ole Miss. But it was a very rewarding, memorable experience, and forever indebted to Tulane for, giving me the opportunity to have my first full-time FBS assistant job, and then allowing me to come back years later to be the head coach. And continue to grow as a head coach on my way to this opportunity here in Florida. I will always remember that 2025 Tulane squad for sure.
Well, I'll just say this. We saw a lot of crazy coaching searches in the cycle and everything, but I think the way you handled everything should be the blueprint for how it's done. It was done very, very well, very, very clean. You left Tulane on very good terms. And then you took several of your staff from Tulane with you. I know you had to balance that, and you made a point of it. You weren't hiring friends. You were hiring the best staff you could hire, but you did bring your strength coach and I believe 4 to 5 other position coaches. So talk about that kind of makeup of your staff, and it's got a lot of SEC flavor to it also.
Yeah, anytime you walk into a new job, you have to hire the staff that's best for that place. And the hardest part sometimes is there may have been people when I was at Troy that didn't quite fit the equation at Tulane, and same thing from Tulane to here. It doesn't mean they're not great coaches. A lot of them are. But when you're at a place like the University of Florida, there's a level of experience that you need to put on your staff. Some of that being SEC experience or Power 4 experience, or even NFL experience. And so we've been able to, I think, put together a really quality staff here. Rusty Witt, my strength coach, did come with me from Troy to Tulane and is now here with us. He's been a huge catalyst for the success we've been able to have in winning games. But really privileged to be able to put together the type of staff in Florida that I think, as you look at it, I'm in awe of the collection of people we have, and it's been fun watching this group come together and have buy-in and belief in what we're doing and have each other's back.
Who would be your accountability guy? Every head coach needs one at every stop. Who would be your accountability guy in this job, Coach?
Yeah, in regards to our program, it's Rusty Witt, my strength coach. He and I are in lockstep on discipline and detail and developing culture and a tough mindset within our locker room. And so Rusty and I, he kids around all the time. We're like the two guys from the movie Step Brothers. That's the sort of his running joke is like, we can look at each other and say maybe a couple of words and almost know exactly what the other's thinking. We are very similar and both believe that toughness wins and grit wins, and maybe having a little bit of an edge about you is what wins in this game. And so he is most definitely the guy that I would say reinforces the accountability component for me and our staff.
So are you willing to admit that you touched the drum set?
Yeah, I would definitely touch the drum set, yeah. I did it. Yeah.
Well, and speaking of your strength coach, who I knew had been with you throughout the entire process, the Rusty Witt, a lot is being made of now that you've started your first spring at Florida, the gauntlet. I never really talked with you about this when you were at Troy or at Tulane, but talk about that. And it seems like it's definitely a way to set the culture and the expectation and the mental toughness for your spring practice going into fall and then into year one.
Yeah, it is an extreme accountability contest. That's what the gauntlet is. You know, it's 6 stations. You're paired up with the same guy all morning. Every rep that y'all do in the stations together is scored. One of you is a winner each rep. The other's a loser. You know, the commands and the details that you have to execute, if they're not done properly, there's a mechanism for we lose time against the clock. We have to beat the gauntlet in 1 hour to get to do spring practice. And if we don't beat it, I'll just move spring practice back or cancel it. And so for us, it's a mindset of like, man, it takes what it takes to be great. You have to be very detailed. You have to carry out assignments at a high level, even when you're tired, and you have to compete with an edge. And so it's something we've done at Troy, and at Tulane, it's sort of the conventional old school mat drills, but with a level of detail that I think is unique. And I'm a firm believer that a lot of football games, if not all, are not won, they're lost by somebody. And so you can't beat anyone until you don't beat yourself. And we are trying to create a culture here where, look, if somebody's going to beat us, it's going to be because of something they did, not because of something we've done. And we've got to make sure that we continue to grow from a discipline and accountability standpoint. And that's what that is.
From a weather standpoint, how different is it just from the New Orleans area to Gainesville? Because I've heard stories, but I know you're going through your first deal here, Coach. But is there a difference in terms of just the actual weather?
Jay, you know, I haven't been to the summer here yet, but it's like 80-something today. And so it's warm, and I like it that way. I like the heat. You know, I don't know that it's as humid here as it is in New Orleans. New Orleans humidity might be hotter here. It might be more humid there.
Fair. Will you be utilizing 15 on-field practices, I think, for spring? Not all coaches use. Are you going to use up all 15?
Yeah, we use them all. I mean, look, we're in year one of kind of establishing what we want this to look like here. We're going to use them all. They all look a little bit different. For the first couple of days, they're in helmets and T-shirts, and you get in the shells, which is helmet, shoulder pads. We'll get in the full gear. We'll scrimmage a couple times. Well, we will have a spring game where we'll actually tackle the guy with a football, right? So like a normal American football game. And I know that's not necessarily been in vogue with some people. We will. You know, we'll be smart, tough, not dumb tough too. So we're not going to do things that maybe set a guy back, or we may protect certain individuals in certain periods based upon what we know about them or don't know about them. And so we got to find out who the guys are that are going to maybe rise to certain occasions and be trained in a way that what they're gonna do in clutch moments, and because that's who they are and that's how they built themselves up. But yeah, I'm excited about going through all 15 practices. We've got three in so far, number 4 tomorrow.
And we're talking to Jon Sumrall, head football coach of the Florida Gators. Sounds good to me. And I got to tell you, well, Coach, now you decided to bring in Buster Faulkner as your offensive coordinator. Joe Craddock is coming with you to coach QBs. You guys have very good chemistry. And you made a decision at the quarterback spot. It's become such a big part of college football now. You've had great quarterback play at your previous 2 stops. You decided to move on from DJ Lagway. Talk about the quarterback room now. You had some retention, and then you're bringing a transfer in, I know.
Yeah, excited about having Buster and Joe Craddock both in that offensive staff room. Joe's been with me. Buster I've known a long time. Both guys are really good offensive football coaches. And in the quarterback room, to your point, DJ moved on. He's at Baylor now. Wish him nothing but the best as he moves forward there. We kept Tramel Jones, who's a good young player here on this team. We added Aaron Philo, who was at Georgia Tech with Buster. And we've got Will Griffin, a youngster who's talented. Aiden Warner's played a lot of snaps here at times in the past couple of years. And so really look forward to seeing that competition play out. Those guys have been competing well with each other. I talked to them a lot about you're competing with each other, not against each other. You don't elevate by someone else not doing well. You elevate by competing with each other. And so like the direction that group's headed, believe in that group, and look forward to them continuing to battle that thing out.
Well, Coach, and this will probably be the only interview or probably the longest somebody will go without mentioning this guy's name to you all summer long or spring. But I know a big part of what you're going to do this year was retaining Jaden Ball, who I think everybody in the SEC believes is a beast, and that we're really looking forward to how he performs in your system.
Yeah, Jaden's a really good running back. He's physical, he's tough. He's got a hard edge with how he runs the football. He's a big back. He's a hard tackle. So love the way he plays the game. He's got a little bit of a battering ram mentality. Very grateful he's back. That was a hard fought retain. Never went in the portal. Felt like he was in the portal for a month, even though he never went in. And the fact that he's still here with us, really excited about being able to turn around and hand him the football.
Ultimately, how many questions do you get answered just from your standpoint, Coach? Because really, once you hit fall, the season's right around the corner. So how valuable is spring in terms of answering these questions for you in attaining this information?
Every year is a new year team-wise, even if you're not a new staff. Clearly, we're in brand new staff here, but with the player movement, the transfer portal, no two teams are alike anymore year to year. And so I think the individual player development is huge to identify which guys are establishing themselves as pieces you can build around for the season. And how do you create competitive depth? Because this league is a physical league where you're going to have bumps and bruises. And so which guys can help us throughout the roster, maybe even guys that aren't starters right now or are younger players. But we've got to create depth within this roster where we can play a lot of guys and play the game the right way without drop-off.
And, of course, Coach, you've cut your teeth. You were a really good linebacker at Kentucky. You were an assistant defensive coach at your alma mater, at Tulane. You've at Ole Miss. You hire Brad White, who had a really good reputation at Kentucky. You retain a couple of guys on the staff, including Gerald Chapman, as your assistant head coach and defensive line coach. So you retain a couple of guys from the previous staff. And then you even had a guy that was a former Gator, Bam Hardman, on your staff at Tulane that you brought with you. Talk about the defense and then kind of how that staff's coming together and what you've liked so far that you've seen of your team in the 3 practices.
Well, Brad he's a seasoned veteran coordinator in this league. He's been through the battles. This is as challenging of a league in all of football as there is. And so, he's calloused to the competition and the challenges this league presents. He's seen a lot of different things. He's a high-level thinker. He's really good at evolving and building what we do around the players, and similar to Buster is on offense. And then to your point, so many good guys in that defensive staff, from Greg Gasparotto, who was my coordinator the last 3 years, is here coaching the linebackers. Bam Hardman was with me. Gerald Chapman we retained as the D-line coach. Chris Collins was most recently at Kentucky, and Brandon Harris, who was already coaching collegiately and played a long time in the NFL as a first-round draft pick, is coaching our corners. So that defensive side of the football, I really like. The collection of guys in that room leading that side of the ball, and it starts with Brad, though. And like I said, Brad's been calling the defense at Kentucky since 2019 and had a lot of success. And so for us to have somebody who's been in those fires and is not going to flinch is pretty important.
From a bigger standpoint of just the calendar overall, I know a lot of discussion has been made on more or less formulating a calendar. There is so much uncertainty around college football. How tougher is it today to be a head coach than even, and I know you're at a bigger place, Coach, but even say your first year at Troy, of just all the different, elements that are surrounding your gig right now, Coach?
Well, the calendar, I think, it is what you make of it. And yeah, there are naturally challenges, whether it be the timing of the portal versus the season, the coaching changes that are made while the season still feels like it's going on. I'd love to see the season end closer to what used to be the normal conventional national championship game of New Year's Day. I don't know that's going to happen anytime soon because of TV contracts and the playoff format, et cetera. But look, we're very fortunate here to have great resourcing. And I'm not going to whine and complain about anything, the calendar or the competition or whatever, man. I'm freaking blessed to be right where I'm at. And so are there some things I would change? Yeah, sure. If I was king of the day of college football, then I would. But I'm going to deal with what they've given us rule-wise and make the best of it.
And then, Coach, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask. I know you brought your special teams coach with you. It's a huge part of the game still in college football. We saw it basically decided in the Alabama-Oklahoma rematch, and it was decided in the first meeting between them and Tuscaloosa. It's such a big part of the game. What is the outlook for your special teams as you go into spring and get underway for Florida?
Yeah, I'm a former special teams coordinator from my time at Troy, and I'm very involved in that phase. I'm blessed to have Jonathan Galante running our special teams, though. He's really good, young guy, cutting edge. He worked for Coach Saban and Coach Banks at Alabama years ago, and as a young coach, and really gifted young coach, man. And grateful for his hard work. The only two transfers we brought from Tulane to Florida were Patrick Durkin, our field goal kicker, who was 25 of 28 last year, and Alec Clark, our punter, who was also the holder. And so those are the only guys that made the trip with us in the portal from Tulane. And, it's a lot easier to be a good special teams coach when you got really good specialists. So we spent a lot of time in that phase. It's an area of the game I'm passionate about, and really kind of was a huge part of my upbringing as a coach. And to be quite honest with you, it's the thing that I did that probably most equipped me to becoming a head coach was when I was a special teams coordinator at Troy.
Yeah, no doubt. And I know you guys were able to get Eric Singleton out of the portal. I know he could help in the return game. And I know when he was with Buster, I really loved his activity and his production at Georgia Tech. I'm excited to see what he can be as a Gator in his final year.
Yeah, Eric's talented. He's going to have roles in the return game. Him and VB3 are both dynamic ball in hand guys. And, getting Singleton out of the portal, man, he's got Olympic, track speed. He's a really competitive guy who's been fun to coach. He's a smart guy who likes getting coached. And so fired up that he was going to the NFL draft. He'd already received his invitation to the Senior Bowl. And when he decided to come back to college, we worked like heck to try to get to the front of that list, and we did, and we were able to land him here in Florida.
Well, my final question, because I saw the video, and Scott and I were talking about it on the show. How was it to be around a live Gator? Those things can be sneaky fast, man.
Yeah, they're quick in short areas. I'll tell you this. They told me I was doing some sort of photo shoot with a live alligator. I'm like, all right, how big are we talking about? 1 foot here, 2 foot? And, that thing, me and my wife are actually on a walk right now on campus in Lake Alice here on campus. We just saw a little 2 foot alligator probably in the lake. This alligator I had my moment with in the stadium was a 7 foot alligator, a little bit bigger, somewhat intimidating, and very humbling experience, because when an alligator that size hisses and snaps at you, you're like, all right, are we sure everything's safe here? Is this a good idea? I don't want to be like Chubbs from Happy Gilmore and have to get a hand replaced.
All I can go through my head is Steve's prayer, only Gators get out alive in the swamp.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Well, we can't wait for the spring game. Then, of course, in the fall when you guys take the field. But, man, we're so happy for you and this opportunity that you've earned. And we can't wait to see you start, turning this program around in the SEC. You've reached the highest level of college football. We're very proud of you in the Rocket City in your hometown. But thank you for taking the time. I know it's a very busy one for you and taking a few minutes to be on Talkin' Ball. But good luck to you, Coach, and we look forward to speaking with you again down the road soon.
Thank you, guys. Always good to catch up.
I thought it was very interesting, the answer on Jaden Ball, because I knew he was very, very, very highly sought after, and to be able to retain him, I thought was really the biggest part of the offseason. And they've got L.J. McCray, too, who was a 5-star recruit. We didn't really talk a lot of personnel defensively.
Yeah.
But
he's still getting to know him.
But he was hurt last year, too, so he needs to get healthy. But I think they're going to be really good. And like I said, man, just get after LSU's ass.
It takes a lot for this dog to do a chomp, but I'll do a chomp just because of what he has attained in such a short amount of time. Really incredible.
Yeah, no doubt.
We'll take a time out. Back with much more here on Talkin' Ball.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com.
Hey folks, Arthur Seed, managing partner at University Kia, letting you know we are proud supporters of Alabama and Auburn football. Swing by University Kia today and check out our huge selections of brand new Kias, including the spacious Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the slick new K5, the sporty Kia Seltos. We've got perfect cars for every lifestyle and budget. Visit universitykia.com to view all our amazing offers and get pre-approved amenities, because we want to see you in a Kia. Roll Tide, War Eagle.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSB.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, how do airplanes fly? What's in this box? Is this tree good for climbing? How are babies made? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Talking to them about gun safety in your home is a good first step, but you can do more. Always keep your guns locked, unloaded, and stored separately from ammunition. Safe gun storage saves lives. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. That's endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
March Madness. Best sporting event on earth. Better than the Super Bowl, World Series. Better than the World Cup. Missed free throws. That's what kills you.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Back live inside the BBC. We got a mean game of horse going on. That was really cool to catch up with Jon Sumrall
Really was.
That Gator conversation to end it was pretty awesome.
And look, I understand they don't play LSU this year in the regular season, but they could very well play them in the SEC
no, you said it before we taped.
Yeah,
so,
and at the end as well, if you remember.
Yeah.
But
that's right.
Yeah, but they could easily play them in the SEC championship game or in the playoff. I would love personally to see them play in the playoffs, and then him send Lane Kiffin home again. With no postseason victories. And then John, who already lost to his Ole Miss team. Of course, Lane wasn't coaching that team. He went 1-1, or you could say, or 0-2, but only Lane coached the first game, and then Pete Golding coached the second. But for him to get his first victory over Lane Kiffin in a playoff game with an all-SEC matchup, that would be a beautiful thing. Because I hate Lane Kiffin.
Well, something that Kirby Smart did say still holds true here today. Mm-hmm. This is from a couple of weeks ago.
Respect for this town. I had no idea how great a basketball town this really was.
So that was a couple of weeks ago.
And was he talking about Gainesville?
He was talking about Gainesville. As Todd Golden is indeed the coach of the year.
Well, and look,
and well deserved. Todd Golden.
I had him in my top 3, and I don't mean it as any disrespect, just because sometimes
awards came out yesterday.
Yeah, but what I mean is sometimes when you're the favorite, and they were to some degree to Alabama and Florida going into the season, and you're the defending national champion, a lot of times when you're supposed to be good, you don't win it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But I will say his team was so dominant this year within the league. When you talk about the only 2 losses being the inexplicable one to Auburn, which I still don't make a lot of sense out of that, but then they lose by 2 at Missouri. And then the rest of the games are pretty much beat downs. I mean, Kentucky gave them, a 7-pointer and a 9-pointer, but everybody else, Steve, if you go back and look, except for, I think, the one in Nashville, it was 98-94 with Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
A lot of these were beat downs. And so, including to Arkansas, including to Alabama, I mean, they were dominant. So I can see it, even though my vote would have gone to Bucky McMillan because I think they were picked 13th in the league and they win 11 games and they're going to go to the NCAA tournament. I thought that was pretty remarkable.
To pick Golden. I mean,
there's a definite case for Todd Golden, no doubt about it.
Darius Acuff is your player of the year.
The well-deserved.
Yep. Newcomer of the year is Dalen Swain from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And your scholar athlete of the year is Chinyelu. Chinyelu.
He's also your defensive player of the year, by the way.
I was about to say the other thing that he won was something called defense.
And he is a tremendous defender.
Chinyelu is he is just so much fun to watch.
Well, I mean, just the way he can move for a 6'9", 6'10" kid.
Yeah, you're putting it better than I am.
Well, and then people forget, and this is something you have to give credit to Todd Golden. Thomas Houck wasn't heavily recruited out of Pennsylvania comparatively. He would equate now to a top 20 player in the country coming out of high school. He wasn't rated that. But then Chinyelu was at Washington State when they got him out of the portal.
How about that?
From the native of Nigeria. He's a tremendous player. Alex Condon, they get him from Australia. So, and see, if you go back and look at the blueprint that he was using at San Francisco when he had them near the top of the West Coast Conference competing with the obviously the St. Mary's and the Gonzagas and even Santa Clara, he did a great job because he did a lot of international recruiting, and he's done a lot of that at Florida so far.
No great surprise on the first team. I just top to bottom, LeBaron Philon made that first team.
You mean not Philon?
LeBaron Philon.
Philon.
It was Hoke with Florida, Gillespie, Tennessee, Acuff, Arkansas, and some guy named Tyler Tanner there at Vanderbilt.
Tremendous.
That is your first team.
As I said, the top 3 for me is Coach of the Year. Of course, we said Golden, Bucky, and then Mark Byington. I think those are your.
See, I would have flipped. I love Bucky. I understand it. Now, had it been like newcomer, our first year head coach, yes, absolutely. But Byington has turned around the Vanderbilt program, and that's a long time coming. We are way late for our second break. Brandon, I promise we'll get right to you on the other side. It is Talkin' Ball here on a Tuesday morning, live inside the VBC, helping tip up the Conference USA men's and women's basketball tournament. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone. Travel accommodations for 97.7 ESPN The Zone provided by University Kia. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Not much in the way of any sunshine through the course of the afternoon. We're going to maintain the opportunity for a little bit of rain. Some of us are going to be dry on Tuesday. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 70s, only dropping into the mid 60s as we head into the overnight. Another opportunity for some strong, marginally severe thunderstorms as we head into your Wednesday. Best chance there looks like it's going to be Wednesday evening and then into the overnight. Temperatures on Wednesday climbing into the upper 60s, lower 70s.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Basketball fans, get ready as the Conference USA Basketball Tournament is set to return to the Rocket City and Probst Arena March 10th through 14th, featuring 20 men's and women's basketball teams playing 18 games with Conference USA titles and NCAA automatic bids on the line. It's 5 days of exciting hoops action at VBC Probst Arena. Jump into the action by getting your tickets now by visiting Ticketmaster.com. And we'll see you inside the VBC March 10th through the 14th. Come find out who will be putting on their dancing shoes.
The crimson and white jerseys.
Front court, to the rack, and the plunge.
The sound of a buzzer beater.
Got it to go as the buzzer sounds.
The Roll Tide chant from the crowd. It can only be Alabama basketball. Join the Alabama Crimson Tide right here on your home for Alabama basketball.
Listen to Alabama basketball all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loaders from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Thompson Tractor knows how much value you place on your customer satisfaction. It's how you build your business. It's also how we build ours. Since 1957, hardworking folks like you have counted on Thompson to provide the absolute best lineup of equipment in the industry, all backed by a customer service and product support team that time and again have proven to be second to none. It's all about maintaining peak performance. Always has been, always will be. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
What's better than 2 end-zone sports bars? 3 end-zone sports bars. And we have you covered with our original location on University across from Red Lobster, in Jones Valley on Cecil Ashburn near Carl T. Jones, and our newest location in the Midtown District on McMurtry Drive opposite the Target Plaza. All locations feature the NFL Sunday Ticket, Tuesday half-price burgers, and Wednesday $1 jumbo wings all day long. You're never far from the end zone. End-zone Sports Bar.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
We'll talk a little Alabama basketball coming up next hour, as well as Oxford boys basketball coming up at the top of the hour, as they were able to hoist up the map. I noticed the blue map is not completely blue. It had a blue underline on it, but it's now a clear state. It's not it's hey,
Oxford don't care.
They don't. They really don't.
They just know they're the champion. Cue up Queen.
Brandon is on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Good morning, Brandon.
Morning.
Morning, sir.
Still slightly North Alabama, right?
Well, yeah, I consider them. Yeah, we claim
we
it.
claim
We
it.
claim it. You know,
where's the line of demarcation? Is that like
anybody that plays
Pelham?
in the Northeast
Is that,
Regional,
is
man?
That Pelham?
We even said Birmingham in a way. So Birmingham, and then you just keep on going. Come down, yeah. Come north.
Well, speaking of things that people done, they should have thought twice about, and this is going to really get good for Steve Moulton. Did you see where the Hawks had to have their Magic City night canceled by?
Yeah.
I saw that.
I texted Mike Bell. I'm waiting to hear back from my buddy Mike
Yeah,
Bell.
that's exactly where I was going. Really?
If I could tell you the amount of
at the Hawks?
Oh. And by the way, for context, I don't think he's going to mind me saying this. Brandon has been a season ticket holder for the Hawks in the past.
Yeah.
So
they had a Magic City Monday scheduled, and I think it was for next Monday. And evidently, from the press release that I read from the Atlanta Hawks yesterday, they were going to sell a hoodie. They pre-sold some hoodies, and those will be honored. So that's like an exclusive because they are no longer going to sell the Magic City Monday hoodie at the event at the basketball game next Monday.
Well, I was told from somebody that works there that they were going to have some halftime dance events.
Oh, Lordy.
And they were dancing to Escape Wild Wild West. I saw the sign and Pour Some Sugar on Me. So I don't know how that was going to go, but I would love to have found out.
If there was ever a perfect tie-in for the Atlanta Hawks, it was that event right there.
That sounds like something they'd have for whoever ends up relocating to Vegas. Because they already have a WNBA team.
I mean, I really don't think
I'm. By the way,
I don't think I'm really breaking any news right here, but I mean, there is, some adult entertainment for professional athletes.
There's no question
after game. But the thing was, when I was around NFL and Major League Baseball, they hit it a little bit with the Hawks. I'm telling you, it was just like a line out the door. Anyway.
Well, I mean, we all know this has been a factor. Look at John Morant's social media.
Well, I mean, if you take a look, I don't know if you remember when Atlanta United won their minor league soccer a few years ago. They paraded the trophy in there and got multiple lap dances. Yes, multiple lap dances and posted the videos all over social media.
Wow.
They had their own Magic City Monday.
So the one thing that blew my mind early, covering the Hawks, there was two members of the Hawks. I know they were a good team. That was a team with Christian Laettner and Steve Smith and Lenny Wilkins.
Laettner actually made the All-Star team when he was with the Hawks.
There was two members of that team that could not stand playing basketball. They just could not stand what they were doing for a living. Yeah. And they would tell me, what else can I do to earn this much salary?
Yeah.
But the fact that that there's professional athletes out there that don't enjoy what they're doing just kind of was mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
Well, anytime Mike Bell was at Magic City, he enjoyed what he was doing. And there are probably a lot of radiologists, dentists.
So for the record, for the record, I would always pick up Mike Bell at the Gold Club.
Oh, okay.
I always picked him up at the Gold Club. I left the Atlanta area before Magic City became a thing.
Gotcha.
It was either the Gold Club, I don't think Mike will mind me telling on him, or the Cheetah.
The Cheetah. I've heard about the Cheetah.
Yeah, that was the other place that I would get. I was Uber before Uber, evidently.
There you go.
I was
designated driver before the
Bell's,
designated.
For those that don't know, Mike Bell is a sports talk show host in the Atlanta area. I think he's in the afternoons on what I call Z93 back in the day, but whatever they call Z93.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're talking about the Grease Man. That's big time. Right there.
The Grease Man. The Grease Man.
Oh.
That was the big time Atlanta radio.
The Grease Man was an over-the-top FM DJ where he would tell these war stories all the time.
Here we go.
That to me, that was like the equivalent of Beavis and Butthead, where you could only take like 5 or 10 minutes of it, and then you're done. But that's just, were you a bigger fan of him, Brandon? I wasn't.
Well, he was like a poor man's Don Imus, I guess I would say.
Very poor.
And speaking of Beavis and Butthead, their anniversary from '93 was this past Sunday, so I did watch it.
Wow, 93.
Yeah, Brandon sent that out. I was like, wow, that's amazing.
But I just think, as much as I do dislike, I didn't really, little bits and pieces, and I did watch the movie. I don't know why, but I did watch the movie. But we wouldn't have King of the Hill without Beavis
Mike
and Butthead.
Judge,
yeah, so. Or we wouldn't have, Office Space, the movie that came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, all good things with that came from there, because I remember that came out, we watched it, and then the snowstorm was right after. And we didn't have cable for a week to watch it again.
Ice.
So
that was ice right there, yeah.
Yeah, so, but one person who will not be doing any Magic City Mondays when he gets to Atlanta will probably be Tua. I would be willing to say that is probably.
I would hope not.
That would be a safe assumption right there. I like the pickup myself. The only thing I really don't know is I don't know what to think about Kevin Stefanski. I really don't. But I had my hopes set on a guy named Harbaugh, but that didn't happen. So
I like Arthur Blank. I met him at a season ticket holders meeting many years ago.
Yeah.
But I look at that organization and I say they just can't seem to make the right decisions. And I like to lay a lot of the blame at Rich McKay's feet and say that he is the virus that they can't get rid of, that they claim that he has nothing to do with football operations. But yet when you talk to everybody, they say he's in every meeting and has input on everything, despite the fact that all of this goes on. But there's a lot of people that point to that and say that he has too much input. But the organization just can't seem to make the right decisions. When they hired Raheem Morris, I said, what? What are we doing? And now we've got the guy we got now. So I guess we'll see what happens. But I like Arthur Blank, but I just don't know that he runs a good enough show to win there. But I don't think it matters because he's making lots of money. I mean, he ought to just pull a Ted Turner and buy the Braves and just get it over with.
Well, here's the thing. We'll be interested. I'll be interested to see what kind of influence Matt Ryan has on the organization now.
Yes.
Now that he's been hired.
I'll agree to that. And Matt Ryan was a punching bag for a lot of people. You would turn Atlanta radio on and they would talk about Mike Vick versus Matt Ryan. And that argument would last all day. You could stack your call sheet full and just not even do a show. And then somebody say something about Jordan and LeBron.
I had a buddy of mine send me a clip. This is from yesterday, I think, of Domino and Cellini, who they've done a sports talk show in Atlanta since I was over there. Yeah. And they were trying to convince everybody that the perfect fit at Georgia Tech for the men's basketball opening, Bruce Pearl. Please, the floor is yours, Drew DeArmond.
I mean, good grief. I mean, he could recruit Atlanta, and I guess that's why they're talking about it.
That was the argument. That was the argument right there.
Well, then I guess we would see a very quick resignation from Steven, and then he would be the associate head coach at Georgia Tech.
I don't see it myself.
How many Auburn fans would jump out of windows?
No, Auburn fans would. Part of them would be distraught because Pearl went somewhere else, but then they would be happy because Steven would be gone. But then I'll say this: but they're not getting Todd Golden. And I know at one time they thought they might be able to get him away from Florida until he won the national championship. Now you have no chance to do that. So, but I can't see Bruce going to Georgia Tech. Go ahead, Brendan.
I thought Josh Pastner was going to do all right years ago when they got him there. But
I thought it was a decent hire. I really did too.
Yeah. They haven't been able to get him off the ground. I'll be interested to see where that Miami of Ohio's coach goes to.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, they ain't played a great schedule. I'll be interested to see where he goes. But
right
now that's an interesting thing because right now everybody in Mississippi is trying to buy tickets, season tickets, just hoping to be there when they play LSU. Everybody. People may fly in on drones to be at that game. Could you imagine what the people of Auburn would do if Bruce Pearl took the Georgia Tech job and Auburn played Georgia Tech?
We are right up against the break, Brandon.
It'd be hard to fathom.
Appreciate it, brother.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man.
Let's take our final timeout here in hour number 2. Still one more hour to go. Live here from the VBC. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopé. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road. Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list, and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Hey, I'm Bobby White, and we have amazing truck month deals right now at Lynn Layton Ford. With your good credit, get 0% financing for 60 months with 0 down, plus 0 payments for 90 days, and $1,000 bonus cash on new F-150s. That's 0 for 60, 0 down, 0 payments for 90 days, plus $1,000 bonus cash on new 25 F-150s. Save up to $5,000 off MSRP on 25 Rangers, $5,000 off on Ranger. Save up to $10,000 off MSRP on remaining new 2025 Explorers, up to $10,000 off. We've got new Maverick hybrids starting at under $28,000. That's right, new 25 Maverick hybrids are truck month priced from just $27,840, and you'll never be asked to pay any hidden markups or dock fees. Come see us while supplies last by March 31st. We hope to see you real soon at Lynn Layton Ford, right in the heart of Ford country, just a mile south of the Beltline indicator, or online anytime at lynnlaytonford.com.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama, located online at universitykia.com.
Back inside the VBC here on a Tuesday morning, helping tip up for the 3rd year in a row the Conference USA men's and women's basketball tournament. Congratulations to the Detroit Trojans. It's their 4th NCAA appearance, 2nd consecutive.
Scott Cross doing a great job.
They are 0-3 all-time in the NCAA tournament, but it's their 3rd Sun Belt championship, the first team to win back-to-back titles since Georgia State did it in 2018 and 2019. The Sun Belt is 1-9 in their last tournament games. The lone win was 12-seed James Madison over Wisconsin back in the 2024 round of 64. We'll see how things line up in terms of the bracket coming out on Sunday. And by the way, you'll be able to hear that reveal show right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Furman is in the big dance for the 8th time as well. It's their 8th SoCon championship and their first since 2023. But I was really rooting for Lenny, and the same for Bulldogs. They were bounced in the semis.
Yeah, they had a tough first matchup in the tournament, the way the draw went. They had to play Bob Ritchie and Furman, and they had some wars with those guys during the regular season, and it was a war again.
Yeah.
This
Furman was
weekend.
The 6th seed, by the way.
And they're
in the tournament. They're in the big dance.
Bob Ritchie has done a great job with that program year in and year out. And remember Noah Gurley, who transferred there from to Alabama out of the portal and was a big time glue guy for Nate Oates. Bob Ritchie's had a lot of good players at
Coach
Furman.
Joel Vandermeter, speaking of winning, he's going to join us next. We'll be right back.
I'm Abraham here for Valley Equipment Rental. You know, if you're a contractor installing fences, you need Valley Equipment Rental for augers of all sizes. And if you need a forklift to get those shingles up high on a roof, Valley Equipment has 10K lifts that reach to 56 feet. Valley also has tow-behind lifts that have a working height of 35 to 55 feet as well for power washing those two-story homes or doing whatever else you need to do. Lifts, forklifts, tow-behind lifts, 35 feet and up. They have your lift at Valley Equipment Rental. 2 locations, North and South Parkway. Valley Equipment Rental. Tom Abraham here for my longtime friend Mike Owen of Owen Home Appliance. You know, Mike has over 25 years experience in the appliance industry, and since 2017, Owen Home Appliance has served customers in the Tennessee Valley with a focus on quality products, affordable prices, and excellent customer service. Owen Home Appliance prides themselves on community involvement as well, sponsoring local teams and events while making sure that you get the right appliance at the right price. Visit their highly interactive showroom in Lacey Springs, just 8 miles south of the river on 231.
Basketball fans, get ready as the Conference USA Basketball Tournament is set to return to the Rocket City and Probst Arena March 10th through 14th, featuring 20 men's and women's basketball teams playing 18 games with Conference USA titles and NCAA automatic bids on the line. It's 5 days of exciting hoops action at BBC Probst Arena. Jump into the action by getting your tickets now by visiting Ticketmaster.com. And we'll see you inside the BBC March 10th through the 14th. Come find out who will be putting on their dancing shoes.
The countdown to Trash Pandas baseball is on. Tickets are available now for opening weekend, Friday, April 3rd through Sunday, April 5th. Friday will be the biggest, brightest, and loudest opening day in team history. Plus, on Saturday, don't miss a special performance and meet and greet with Taylor Swift's guitarist, Paul Sidoti, before a special 105 start on Sunday featuring a post-game Easter egg hunt on the field. Come join us for the fun and get your tickets for opening weekend now at tptix.com. That's tptix.com.
This hour of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by Hyundai Decatur, located on the Beltline.
In the market for a new or used car? Look no further than Hyundai of Decatur. With a large inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Hyundai models, Greenway Hyundai of Decatur is here to service all of your Hyundai needs. Come visit our exceptional service department as well. With state-of-the-art facilities and a caring team of automotive professionals waiting to service your vehicle, make Hyundai of Decatur your #1 choice for all your automotive needs. Give them a call today at 256-274-0279 or visit them online at greenwayhyundaiofdecatur.com.
Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Scott is out. My name is Steve Moulton. That's Drew DeArmond. And we've got a lot to get to in our final hour as we're live here from the VBC. And getting ready for the very first game that's about to tip it up between Delaware and Kennesaw State. That'll be on the women's side, followed by Jacksonville State and UTEP. Over on the men's side later on tonight, Jacksonville State will also be in action for the late game. At 5:30, it's Missouri State and FIU. That's followed by New Mexico State and Jack State all here today for the third year in a row, and Conference USA made the announcement along with the city of Huntsville hosting this event yet again for 3 more years, and found out right out of the gate from Joel Lamp that the cross-country championships are coming here 26 and 28 as well. So Conference USA making a home right here in Huntsville, and it meshes well.
Yeah, a great relationship with the Rocket City, and it's been hugely successful for the basketball tournament to be here, men's and women's, the last 2 years. This will be year 3, and we look forward to it getting cranked up, as near the end of the Tom Abraham extravaganza. He will be on the air, but the first game will be underway. I'll be on the women's side, and we look forward to carrying that. It looks like it's going to be Kennesaw State and Jack State, I believe, is going to be your first game today. So
the women's side, I think that is Kennesaw State and Delaware.
Oh, is it Delaware?
That's followed by UTEP and Jack State. So Kennesaw State
so that'll
and
be
Delaware.
Okay, my apologies. I should have double checked the bracket. But I know I looked. I know New Mexico State and the Jack State on the men's side play tonight, last game of the day.
That's right.
But
Yeah.
Jack State, you're right. Jack State and UTEP. That's going to be this afternoon, roughly around 2:00 Central Time. Delaware and Kennesaw State, as Steve said, will be 11:30 Central. Will get us kicked off here for the third year from the VBC. So we're looking forward to that.
We're efforting Coach Joel Vandermeter right now, but still, honestly, while we're kind of in a holding pattern, seeing this team in particular, really, how many times have they been to the Huntsville City Classic? I want to say at least 4 times.
Yeah, they've been multiple times. They've made runs in the past, and he's never been shy about coming up here to play. They came to our Alabama-Georgia crossover this year. Lost 2 really tough games to 2 good teams out of the state of Georgia. But they only lost 4 games all year. They went 30-4. So they lost those 2 on back-to-back days. They played on 2 straight days. They stayed in Huntsville. Then they came to the Classic, made it to the championship game for the first time ever. Didn't have Jalen Taylor, who I believe he's committed to Memphis in football, but he's an outstanding defender. And they have an outstanding defensive team, so he didn't have him for the final 2 games. They won the semifinal without him, but he could not beat Huntsville, in the championship game. But still, it was a great experience for his guys. It was the only in-state opponent they lost to, as they also lost to an opponent out of the state of Mississippi. So they end up 30-4 on the year, and they played their best basketball at the best time, as they had another really tough regional draw, playing the Gadsden City Titans in the Sweet 16, winning 53-45, then holding Elijah Garrison and a really good Homewood team that had been ranked all year to 22 points in the Elite 8 matchup, and then to get to Birmingham and get over the hump there, and then beat a really solid Saraland team 52-37, and then to go on and beat the Coleman Bearcats the way they did 68-44. It was just an outstanding effort by the Oxford Yellow Jackets and Joel Vandermeter.
Well, we are having a problem connecting with Coach Vandermeter, but nonetheless, Jalen Alexander in particular, the tournament MVP, I know you talked about him potentially being Mr. Basketball here in the state of Alabama. I know he's on the all-hair team. A beautiful head of hair, but his game is at the point guard position, sets the table up beautifully, honestly, and I'm on board as well. Jalen Alexander for Mr. Basketball makes a lot of sense to me.
No, it makes total sense. I mean, he's a tremendous young man. He had nearly a triple-double in that semifinal win over Saraland. He had 22 points. He had 10 rebounds. He had 7 assists. In the finals, the stat line was a little more modest, but he still ran his team tremendously, 11 points, 8 assists, and controlled the game. But the biggest thing about him, though, is he's as good defensively as he is offensively, and he is a true point guard, but with explosive athleticism. very strong body. He's improved his game every year. This year, I thought he was a better 3-point shooter than we've seen in the past. Before, it would be you'd be trying to keep him out of the paint and make him shoot from the perimeter. But I thought he improved his 3-point shooting, his mid-range. I thought he was the best player in the Huntsville City Classic, he and Evan Toms, and he just didn't have a weakness. And he's a tremendous player. Played for a great coach and Joel Vandermeter, a great staff. And to he and his father's credit, they stayed the course and as a program. And I think they used it as fuel the year before when they had the narrow loss in the regional to Gadsden City, who went on to the Final Four. And they knew they let an opportunity get away from them, but you just have to stay the course. And they certainly did. And they had a really good team this year that I thought, Chris Latson, he got his first college offer at the Huntsville City Classic from Calhoun. He is as Coach said last week, he's not really a post. He'll be playing the wing in college, but he had to play the post for them in a lot of ways and had to be their rim protection. But he's a tremendous athlete, and I know he had 21 in the game against Coleman, went 7 of 9, and really was a huge difference maker in that 68-44 state championship win.
Jalen Alexander had 11 points, 8 assists, and 5 steals in the championship matchup against Coleman as they down Coleman 68-44. So our apologies there on Coach Vanmeter. But I tell you what, let's get ahead of the game and actually take a break here early and hear a little bit from what the commissioner had to say yesterday on the Feinbaum program, because there's been a lot of talk about the SEC separating, the Big Ten separating, and that this is an important time of year. And I think there was one comment in particular that I'd like to get your thoughts on from what the commissioner had to say yesterday afternoon on the Feinbaum program. So let's take a timeout here early. We're in hour number 3 here on a Tuesday. Here it's Talkin' Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The Orthopedic Center. It's in the name. TOC, the premier choice for all your orthopedic needs. With over 40 physicians and 20 centers of excellence, TOC is the name to trust for complete, expert orthopedic care. And that word center, we mean it. With more than a dozen locations across North Alabama and the Tennessee Valley, TOC is in your community whenever you need us. As the state's largest orthopedic practice, TOC is built on trust we've earned with every patient we serve. You can see that trust on the field, too. As the official sports medicine provider for the Huntsville Havoc, Huntsville City Football Club, Oakwood and Alabama A&M universities, thousands of athletes and coaches count on TOC to keep them in the game. From student athletes to unexpected injuries, our urgent ortho clinics offer prompt, expert care. No appointment necessary. So remember, when it comes to your health and mobility, trust the name that says it all. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Eat, drink, compete. Welcome to Field Day, Huntsville's go-to spot where every day feels like a win. Catch the big game or create your own with chef-driven bites, craft cocktails, self-serve beer, and games that keep the fun going. And don't miss happy hour. 50% off drafts and appetizers, plus $5 margaritas and wells. Life's better when you play, so grab your friends and make it a win at Field Day, University Drive, Huntsville.
It's softball time in Alabama, and the best place for your travel softball team is to play with USSSA Softball. Not only for the best travel team tournaments, but for recreational softball tournaments all around the area, as well for your high school level softball team. Plus, the USSSA National Championship this year is at the Gulf Shore and Orange Beach and the Foley Softball Complex. Now, for more information, visit alfastpitch.uSSSA.com. That's alfastpitch.uSSSA.com.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money. Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Talking Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Nothing wrong with a little CCR. Waking you up here on a Tuesday morning. 2 for Tuesday here on 96 Rock. All right. We're actually 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Welcome you in here. He's Drew. I'm Steve. A lot of discussion on trying to get everybody on the same page, which is very difficult to do on the Division I level. But this is a special time of year, and I thought the way Commissioner Sankey put it to Paul Feinbaum yesterday on the program was interesting. And this is why I wanted to play this portion of the conversation yesterday, courtesy of the Feinbaum program.
You know, Sunday is a big day in the United States of America. It's when 360 or so universities have all had an opportunity to play basketball. 68 of them are picked on the men's side and the women's side, and we have March Madness. America expects that to happen. And so I don't think that even though there are observations about stepping away, I don't think that's I think there's a reality in expressing that frustration, but I don't think that's something that's on the table as a top agenda item. That for us is how do we work together to solve the problems currently in front of us? Because even if you did something different, you'd have those same set of problems. I think the frustration you hear is we need a better decision-making and governance process to facilitate healthier outcomes.
I mean, that's the part right there, but in the end, as much as the commissioner talks about the greater good, he is still the commissioner of the Southeastern Conference. He is still as well as Tony Petitti should be looking for the best interest of the Big Ten. There is no governing body over this that is worth anything to actually move this conversation forward.
No, there's not. There needs to be someone that can, I guess, bring all the commissioners together. There needs to be, whether it's because it's obvious Charlie Kirk doesn't have the power with the NCAA, even though he's the president.
Charlie Baker.
Or Baker, whatever the hell his name is. Again, apologies on Charlie Kirk, God rest his soul. But Charlie Baker, yes, I apologize. Yeah, Charlie Baker doesn't have that kind of power with the NCAA because, again, a lot of it's arbitrary. But they do need some sort of, I know somebody. I don't know if you call it a governor or whoever. There needs to be one voice that can bring the commissioners together and that can enforce rules and make sure that there's a bubble that people operate under, and there's not to kind of shrink the gray areas. And because, again, like you just pointed out, with Sankey, with Petitti, with all these guys, especially the Power Four, they're all out for their own conferences.
Maybe something else. I don't know if you heard this on Friday with the roundtable to try to further this. To me, it felt like a pep rally for the SCORE Act. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the president asked the president of the NCAA a question.
Could I ask Charlie Baker? Charlie, do you think we could come back to a solution or get a solution that was as good as what we had before, or almost as good as what we had before, or maybe better? I don't think better, but maybe. Would you say that's possible, Charlie? You're in the position to be able to tell maybe better than anybody else.
Well, first of all, I appreciate the question, because it's at the end of the day the one we all care about the most, which is, can we create a system going forward that's better than the one we have now? And I think the focus people, the thing about the SCORE Act that everybody needs to remember here is it's a comprehensive piece of legislation that deals with a whole series of things that I think everybody would agree are a problem. The discussion, the place where the discussion gets a little more complicated is the issue about the cost and the revenue side, and the implications of those two issues. And if I were to say to this group, where's the place to go, it would probably be there. And do I think if you could get that resolved, you could create something that most people would view as better than what we had before? I think you'd certainly be heading in that direction. The big thing we all have to remember here is that the way it was before, and I'm almost 70, so I remember those days quite well. Sports and media played a completely different role in our society than the one they play now, and the money piece in particular is got to be part of the conversation, and that's got to involve the student athletes. And your point, Mr. President, about coming up with a more structured way of dealing with that, I think is a good one, but that's got to be part of the dialogue for the same reason that the revenue piece has to be part of the dialogue as well.
So more money, more problems. I feel like this is,
Well, the problem is Charlie Baker and the NCAA sat on their hands and did nothing. They could have been forward thinking when Ed O'Bannon started this process years ago. That wasn't
on Charlie's watch.
I know. I'm just saying as a whole, the NCAA, none of them did anything. They just sat on their hands and counted their money with the NCAA tournament. And then Charlie's trying to insult everybody by trying to get even more out of that, by trying to expand something that doesn't need expansion. Okay? We don't need to be worried about that. We need to be worried about trying to fix collegiate athletics.
The problem that I see for the SEC and the Big Ten, they're not going to be happy. I don't think anybody's going to be 100% happy with any one solution.
Right.
But, I mean, ultimately, pulling everybody together in terms of some revenue sharing, I think has got to happen.
Right.
For this to move forward. And yes, budgets are real, and I get that. Sports are being eliminated as we speak. Sports are being eliminated. In fact, there was one article I read, where was it? But I read it yesterday talking about the target would be Olympic men's sports would be the first to go. So there is that in the back of everybody's mind, at least I think that would happen.
Where
if we continue down this path.
Well, and then Charlie Baker, was so sanctimonious with his take on Charles Bediako, talking about, it's going to give a chance to another young man to be on scholarship and experience collegiate athletics. But he's so out of touch. I mean, this was only going to be a semester for Bediako. He was going to move on. He didn't take away an opportunity from somebody else.
Did. So Charles did have a two-way contract.
He did, but he never played in the NBA. And when
you take a look at the amount of international players
Auburn's got one of them
right now, I think as of last year,
it's the exact same thing.
The collective total was around 1,900 student athletes.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing.
They got paid to play professionally, but it wasn't at the highest level.
Oh, so that makes it different, which is stupid. It's the exact same thing. But what I'm saying is that, but if you don't do something, Charlie Baker's talking about Bediako, well, the collateral damage of Olympic sports for men's and women's being just canceled is worse.
Yeah.
So you've got to fix this.
And it's not just the United States. How many international players
get a chance to come to the U.S.
and utilize what is the
That's
system
why
that
something
is here.
has to be done. Nobody wants to see these Olympic sports be eliminated. I certainly don't, because it's a chance for people to compete and to get a college education. So, and like Nick Saban said, that should be the most important thing.
Well, it is basketball season, and at least in the world of West Neighbors, here over the next couple of weeks. But we're here at the VBC, and they're about to tip up the tournament here in a couple of hours. Women's side will tip it up first, and then the men later on. But we'll have coverage of the entire tournament, right? The championship game in particular on Saturday, we'll have the SEC men's basketball tournament from stem to stern beginning tomorrow. You'll hear Alabama coming up on Friday. And speaking of the Crimson Tide, we will talk some Alabama basketball on the other side. Let's go ahead and take our second time out. We'll talk some Crimson Tide on the other side here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. We stay warm as we head into the overnight. Temperatures only dropping into the mid and upper 60s. A mostly cloudy sky as we head into your Wednesday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 70s, lower 80s. Another opportunity for some strong and severe thunderstorms Wednesday evening as we head into the overnight, early into your Thursday morning.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead, ran away, and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
In the market for a new or used car? Look no further than Hyundai of Decatur. With a large inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Hyundai models, Greenway Hyundai of Decatur is here to service all of your Hyundai needs. Come visit our exceptional service department as well. With state-of-the-art facilities and a caring team of automotive professionals waiting to service your vehicle, make Hyundai of Decatur your #1 choice for all your automotive needs. Give them a call today at 256-274-0279 or visit them online at greenwayhyundaiofdecatur.com.
What does it mean to be a part of the Southeastern Conference? That you paint your body, your car, and your dog your school colors? Maybe. But it means more than that. It means your alumni network includes the state, the country, and beyond. It means your school ring doubles as your resume. And yeah, you better believe it means more titles, like doctor, CEO, and your honor. Because this is the SEC. And here, it just means more. What does it mean to be part of the Southeastern Conference? That yours is the only conference with its own chant? Well, yes, but it means more than that. It means a study abroad program that might include reforestation in a mangrove swamp in Australia. It means finding your calling, your future spouse, your startup's co-founders, and of course, grilling tongs that play your fight song. This is the SEC, and here, it just means more.
Westwood One presents Great Moments in Tournament History, brought to you by John Deere. Nothing runs like a deer.
A One Manning Show. April 4th, 1988, the culmination of the college career of Danny Manning. Averaging 27 points per contest throughout the tourney, Manning single-handedly carried the Jayhawks on his back all the way to the finals, where he torched Oklahoma for 31 points and 18 rebounds in the championship game.
It's going to happen, it appears, and it comes to Grace. 2 seconds, the long shot, no good. It's over. The dream is real. Kansas has won the NCAA title. Danny Manning with 4 free throws late in the game.
Bob Davis with a call, courtesy of the Jayhawk Network. The 11 losses are the most ever by a national champ, but Manning's March performance is another great moment in tournament history. I'm Kevin Kugler.
97.7 The Zone.
More exciting than breakfast and a lot more enjoyable to cook, brunch is ideal for sharing.
Brunch with the Big Dog. The Tom Abraham Show. Weekdays starting at 10 on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
No Big Dog showing yet here inside the VBC. Conference USA men's and women's basketball tournament set to tip it up today. Come on down here to the VBC. Championship matchups occur on Saturday. Well, the SEC tips it up tomorrow. It's a big day for a lot of teams, in particular the Auburn Tigers. Alabama, though, plays on Saturday, Drew. On Friday.
Yep.
They're hoping they're playing on Saturday. They hope they're playing on Sunday. But Friday is first up for the Crimson Tide after earning a 2 seed in a very difficult SEC season.
Yeah, they've been on a heater. I mean, they bounced back from the tough road trip to Georgia, really handled Auburn. The final score didn't dictate how they dominated the game. LeBaron Philon played very well. Mr. Philon. He set the tone early by being aggressive. And then Alabama got off to that 8-0 start. And I thought that was key because we knew that Auburn was coming in, and you would have thought they would have been a desperate team because they're trying to get into the NCAA tournament. But I felt like Alabama's attention to detail, Alabama's, the first 25 minutes or so of the game. Now, they didn't finish like Nate Oates wanted, but certainly they dominated the game, built a 28-point lead, and I thought really – and got Amari Allen back on track, which I thought was key because –
I would like to believe this time of year, very little is going to make Nate Oates completely 100% happy.
No,
but that's what makes him an elite coach.
It does, and so again, and it was a great night for the seniors. You see guys like Noah Williamson, who I know he hasn't played as big a role as people when it's anticipated, but he played extremely hard. And he got in. It was great to get him a bucket. We know the fabric of the team is Houston Millette. He didn't score in the game, but he did all the other little things that have kind of defined his career at Alabama, including taking a big charge from Keyshawn Hall, which and I thought the energy of the crowd was really good. And then we know what Latrell Wrightsell has meant to the team. He didn't get into double figures, but he had 8 points and 7 rebounds. And this team has just really, I think, started to round into shape, get healthy, and I think they're a dangerous squad. And I'm looking forward to seeing them in Nashville, and we're looking forward to speaking to the longtime color analyst, 23 years with the Crimson Tide Sports Network. He was on the call Saturday with Chris Stewart. And of course he's going to be on here on certainly on Friday and hopefully into Saturday and Sunday. And we're efforting to get Bryan Passink on the show with us in just a moment.
Well, that gives us a minute to talk about down the stretch as the win at Tennessee. I really thought it just set up really well, considering the turnaround that happened in the second half, in particular there in Knoxville. That felt like one of the bigger moments, frankly, that I've seen out of this team this year, Drew. The win at Tennessee.
Yeah, it was. I think it was arguably the biggest win of the regular season. I know St. John's meant a lot. Illinois
looks really good.
But, Tennessee had won 5 in a row. Their style of play has always kind of been an issue for Alabama. The toughness Alabama showed down the stretch to win that game, I think it kind of took away, and they had trouble getting back up for the Georgia game because there was a little bit of a short turnaround, but I still thought it meant quite a bit. And now we are going to go out to the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. The longtime color analyst for the Crimson Tide Sports Network, Bryan Passink, is going to join us, talk about the win over Auburn, and then kind of preview the coming tournament, the SEC tournament in Nashville. But, Bryan, it's always great to have you back. You're with Drew DeArmond and Steve Moulton. How are you?
Doing great, guys. How are y'all today?
We're doing well, and I thought the intensity, the crowd, by the way, was electric. You could tell it before the game it was going to be against Auburn, but I thought the start of the game, the 8-0 lead, and then the way they finished the first half, and then I thought they came out the first 5 minutes of the second half. I thought for the first 25 minutes, Alabama was really locked in against Auburn.
I agree. An impressive performance against a talented Auburn team that was playing for their NCAA tournament lives. So really impressed with the way Alabama came out. Great bounce back after a disappointing loss in Athens, Georgia. I'll say this about the Georgia game. Georgia's good. They're a good team. Now, Alabama didn't play their best, but I'll give Georgia credit. They're a good team, and they played great. But Alabama did what they needed to do. They were able to bounce back in a big way, played at a high level. I agree. Electric atmosphere, which is no surprise. We've seen that all year long, and really since Nate Oates has been in Tuscaloosa, that's been the case. But any time that the Auburn Tigers come to town, it's special. It's a great rivalry, and it's always great when you're able to sweep your rival, and Alabama was able to do that this season.
Yeah, and in the process of doing so, they get the number 2 seed, Brian. It was kind of a wild last Saturday in the SEC. We saw Kentucky miss an opportunity. That's never a bad thing. And then and certainly Tennessee lost to Vanderbilt. They didn't have Nate Ament. But Alabama gets the 2 seed. The 2 and the 3, there's really not a lot of difference, but still getting that 2 is very nice. You're in the opposite bracket of Florida. And now, in a way, there should be a lot of motivation because unless we see a Cinderella run from Ole Miss, Alabama will get a team in either Georgia, you just talked about, or Texas that they did not defeat. And Texas had a tough loss at home against Oklahoma, and they may need a win or two to not be nervous.
Yeah, I agree. Whoever it's going to be, and we will assume it's going to be either Georgia or Texas. And listen, I hope I'm wrong because I'd rather play Ole Miss. I don't think they're as good as Georgia or Texas, and I am all for the easiest path to a championship. So that would be my preference. But either way, it's going to be a really good team, an NCAA tournament team, and I expect Texas to be in regardless of what happens in Nashville. But they would maybe have a little more desperation in that game than possibly Georgia, who is locked in. But I expect both to be in, and a great opportunity to play a team that you feel like. I mean, listen, Nate Oates and his players haven't said it, but I would think that, from an Alabama perspective, you feel like they're a better team than those two, even though they're good. But you lost to them, and so that's taking nothing away from Georgia and Texas. Their fans and players probably argue with me that thinking Alabama's better, but they are the 2 seed. They do have the double bye, and a great opportunity to beat a team that you have only played one time each, but both teams that you've lost to. So there's motivation there. I don't know that you need the extra motivation. It's the postseason. It's March. It's Nashville and the SEC tournament. Whoever's ahead of you, these guys are going to be fired up to play. Fortunately for Alabama, hopefully they'll be well rested. They'll be a little healthier, and they'll have an opportunity to make a run in Nashville and then a week later in the NCAA tournament.
Tell me what you've seen out of LeBaron Philon, just in terms of improvement throughout the year, BP.
His improvement from year 1 to year 2 has been extremely impressive, and it's carried on over the course of the season. You love to see a guy come back and listen to the areas of his game that needed to improve his draft stock in the NBA. He probably would have been drafted either late first round, early second round. He decides to come back. The feedback is you got to really work on certain things, including your jump shot from deep. And he becomes right around a 40% 3-point shooter. That was an area of inconsistency a year ago. It's become a strength of his, and it's why he's become an All-American and a first-team All-SEC member. I would have given him SEC Player of the Year honors. It's hard to argue with Darius Acuff. Either one of those two guys deserving, in my opinion. But regardless of that, LeBaron Philon has proven himself as one of the best players in college basketball, and he's done it with hard work and improvement. He was already really good, but he's put himself in a position to where he's probably going to be a fringe lottery pick in this summer's NBA draft. So Bama fans, enjoy him while you can, because I don't anticipate LeBaron Philon being in crimson and white too much longer. We hope it's through the entirety of the month of March, even in the first weekend in April. But he has really had an outstanding year, and a big reason why Alabama is in the position they are.
No doubt. And I got to say, too, the senior class, it's a special trio that they've had. I mean, I know Noah Williamson has not been here very long, only since the summer, but he's kept a really good attitude. He's played the role they've wanted him to play. But Latrell Wrightsell and Houston Millett have had such a big impact on this team. You saw Wrightsell in his final game in Coleman Coliseum, 8 points, 7 rebounds, did a lot of dirty work. I think his defense has been underrated down the stretch as he's been healthier now. And then Houston Millett, what more can you say? I mean, as I asked Nate Oates about him, I saw their embrace when he checked out in the final time. And I know they were trying to get him a bucket so badly in his final game, but he's defined so much by what he does besides score and with his leadership. And I think he's had a really big impact down the stretch on Jalil Bethia. And I know you and Chris did. I did. Everybody jumped out of their seat for his Michael Jordan impersonation on the offensive rebound.
Yeah, listen, I agree with all of it. And let's start with Jalil Bethia. Yeah, spectacular offensive rebound putback. I've loved his attitude. He hasn't played as much as he would like. He's a former McDonald's All-American 5-star. Those guys don't expect to sit no matter where they are. And he has, because of the depth at guard for Alabama, best backcourt in college basketball, and he's kept a great attitude. That is uncommon and impressive by Jalil Bethia. The other guys, the seniors you mentioned, absolutely love the way that Latrell Wrightsell and Houston Millett are playing in the last month of their college basketball career. Love both of those guys, what they've meant to the program on and off the floor. Just great human beings, great leaders, and, oh, by the way, terrific basketball players who are playing great. For Houston Millett on senior day to not score, I know he wanted to, I know the coaches wanted to, it was almost perfect that he did, because he had such an impact on that game. He wins the Hard Hat Award, clearly a difference maker. And to do that without scoring a point is just so impressive and contagious that other guys that are on the bench and in the game know that you can impact the game, you can affect winning without scoring a single point. Houston Millett did that in his final home game in Coleman Coliseum. Latrell Wrightsell, who's overcome so much adversity over the course of the last couple of seasons, to come back from an Achilles tear last season, to battle injuries all season long. He was SEC Player of the Week a week ago, playing his best. I mean, he's had a really good college basketball career on the West Coast before Tuscaloosa, but he's been really good and been on some good teams since coming to Tuscaloosa. But to see the way he's playing gives me even more optimism that Alabama can make a deep run in March and hopefully get back to the Final Four or, Elite Eight, where they've been to both of those in the last couple of seasons. But those guards and those veterans, a big reason why.
Listened a little bit of Hey Coach and the Nate Oates show last night. Heard Pee Wee's question that was texted in as he was umpiring last night, which, by the way, the thought of Pee Wee umpiring is just fantastic to me right now. But the question, and I thought it was a good one, was this long layoff before you play on Friday. You don't know who you're playing yet, of just how hard you go. Thought it was a really insightful answer by Coach Oates of that. He mentioned the 2 years winning the tournament, how hard they went those weeks in particular. And it does make me think of, keeping that momentum after the Auburn game in particular, leading up to Friday. Just would like to get your thoughts on that, BP.
Yeah, the season is such a grind, especially this year with so many injuries. It's really amazing to me that this team that was picked 15th in the nation in the preseason, which is a great place to start, ends up finishing the final regular season poll at 15th. And not that anybody puts a ton of weight into the AP, but when you dig in deeper and look, that expectations were high, they met those expectations, but did it with so much adversity, so many injuries, the toughest schedule in the nation through all of it. And you end up as the 2 seed in the deepest league in America in the SEC and finish, at least in the regular season, top 15 in the country. I just would not have believed that if you would have told me all the injuries that this team had. So such an impressive year for this team. With all that being said, rest is at a premium this time of year. If you can get a bye, if you can get a double bye, you hope, you almost, I don't know if expect is the right word, because it's a lot that has to happen to play 3 games in 3 days. But you hope to play 3 games in 3 days later this week. And so to get rest, to get guys healthy, I think far outweighs the possibility of maybe getting a little rust and losing that momentum. So for me, I am happy that this team has some time off. They'll spend time, they'll spend time in the practice gym and working on themselves, and then later on preparation for probably either Georgia or Texas. And you get to Nashville and you get to watch a bunch of games and prepare. It's a fun time of year. I hope these players and coaches enjoy it, and thankful that they're getting some deserved time off, at least from games. You always laugh when, back a million years ago when I was playing, you got some time off. Well, I think you practiced pretty hard, guys. So they'll be practicing hard, but at least, you're able to have maybe a day or two where you don't go quite as hard, because games don't happen until Friday for this team.
Well, and finally, Brian, for me, I just want to say, I think it's huge that Amari Allen played well against Auburn. They needed to get him back on track, and he was named all freshman. No surprise yesterday, but he'll need to be a crucial part if they're going to win 3 games in 3 days. And I know a couple of weeks ago when we had you on, we started reminiscing about that Alabama-Arkansas game. Then it turns into the next chapter of it, basically lives up to the game you played in. And selfishly, as we're all basketball purists here, Steve, myself, and you, it would be unbelievable to have a semifinal to play them again, in my opinion.
It would. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for so many reasons. I mean, the history, what we saw a few weeks ago in Tuscaloosa, Darius Acuff versus LeBaron Feiline. I mean, two of the most exciting, best guards in college basketball. Hopefully Alabama gets there. And again, I wouldn't be sad if Arkansas didn't. I'm all for the easiest path, as I mentioned earlier. But, that would be what the betting odds would be, that Alabama and Arkansas would play on semifinal Saturday in the SEC. And if that happens, that is must-see TV, must-listen radio, whatever you want to call it. Should be a great one. And, kind of hope we get it.
Well, I can't wait till 5 o'clock pregame, 6 o'clock on Friday, as we will be carrying the Crimson Tide Sports Network live from Nashville. Can't wait to see you guys over in the Music City. But Brian, once again, thank you for coming on and talking some Crimson Tide hoops. Hope it's a great week for Alabama basketball.
All right, guys. I always appreciate y'all having me, and looking forward to Nashville and the NCAA.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, BP. They are testing out the old sound system.
Yeah.
Here inside the VBC. And it's working quite well.
It is. Luckily, it was at the end of the interview, so we were about to wrap it up. And, and we just got a few minutes left on the show. Just heard from Coach Joel Vandermeter. We'll hopefully be able to feature him tomorrow. There was a little bit of a meeting with the superintendent. So those are
priorities.
Yeah, when they're your employer and, they decide to call you an impromptu meeting, you have to go. So
all good.
It's all good with Coach, and great dude. And we did talk a little bit about Jalen Alexander today, but we'll talk some more tomorrow, hopefully, as we'll get Coach on with us, hopefully at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Let's go ahead and take our final timeout. Final call for phone calls here on a Tuesday morning, live from the VBC. We'll be back.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
4-time Grammy-nominated Joe Bonamassa, hailed as one of the world's greatest guitar players. Blues rock titan Joe Bonamassa, performing live March 19th at the VBC Mark C. Smith Concert Hall. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Joe Bonamassa. Every show is a new experience.
Basketball fans, get ready as the Conference USA Basketball Tournament is set to return to the Rocket City in Probst Arena March 10th through 14th, featuring 20 men's and women's basketball teams playing 18 games with Conference USA titles and NCAA automatic bids on the line. It's 5 days of exciting hoops action at BBC Probst Arena. Jump into the action by getting your tickets now by visiting Ticketmaster.com. And we'll see you inside the BBC March 10th through the 14th. Come find out who will be putting on their dancing shoes.
This is Charger basketball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Swings it over to Jordan Mabe. Mabe attacks it. Boy, Jordan wants some. He'll scoop it, lays it up and one for Jordan Mabe. Oh,
this is Charger basketball.
A three in the corner, up and good for Q. He now has 20 in the game. We're tied at 66.
This is Charger basketball.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Welcome to Kern Electrical, where teamwork powers every project. Our champion sales team takes time to understand your needs, tailoring the perfect Generac generator for your home or business. Our project managers handle all coordination, ensuring a tackle-free installation. Our certified installation crews ensure peace of mind, even in the darkest moments. With our service and maintenance lineups, you can be assured we're with you every step of the way. Experience the home team advantage of Kern Electrical, your Generac Superstore.
Most current way to keep your power on. GeneracSuperstore.com.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
Conference USA men's and women's basketball tournament tip it up today here at the VBC. We found out in our first segment that the best way to come on in here without those pesky fees from Ticketmaster is to come on down here to the VBC.
The old school way.
Just walk on up to the box office, and evidently there is still a suite left for Championship Saturday. So if you want to see two teams head off to the big dance, it's easy to do so here at the VBC. Winding things down, and got a first-time guest coming up tonight on the drive. And I'm interested to get your thoughts on Charlie Weiss in particular. Charlie, Coach Weiss is going to join us on the drive tonight.
Well, I mean, he's certainly living off Kansas and Notre Dame, and I can't blame him there. He was very his agent was outstanding. Yeah,
but honestly, I would like to start the conversation.
Got really too
about
good
his
buyouts.
son. About his son.
No, but that's what the conversation should be about. His son, his journey. Nick Saban hiring him years ago to be a part of the organization. He worked his way up at Alabama, and then he's kind of been in the Jimmy Sexton, Nick Saban tree since then and been growing as a coach. He certainly had, outstanding opportunities under Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss. That was, I think, he was with him at FAU. Then he was with him at Ole Miss. Now he's going with him to LSU.
Now, what I forgot was he was on that initial staff at Florida with Will Muschamp. He was the offensive coordinator at Florida in 2011.
Offensive coordinator? Oh, you're talking about Charlie Weiss Sr.
Yes, I'm talking about Senior.
I was talking about Junior.
I know.
But yeah,
and I'm not saying I'm not going to
I
go
remember
there.
Charlie was there. It was a disaster. under Will Muschamp. He was sitting on Gatorade, if I remember correctly, like Gatorade jugs or something.
Mm-hmm.
But it did not go well there. His 1 year at Florida. But still, he had a great run under Bill Belichick in the NFL. That's
4
basically,
Super Bowl rings.
yeah. I mean that's basically where he made his bones, and then he used that to go to Notre Dame. Had some initial success at Notre Dame, and then he also had that opportunity at Kansas. But it's hard to win at Kansas. We understand that. But again, he's had quite a career, and then his son has risen up the ranks, and that's who I was referring to. And he's still considered a young rising star. There was thought to be maybe some opportunities for him to follow in his dad's footsteps and go to the NFL as an OC. He decided to stay and work for Lane Kiffin.
Probably well paid.
I'm sure he is.
He's pretty well paid
no
down
doubt.
at LSU.
I thought he did a good job as OC under Pete Golding in the playoff when he got to call his own plays, which I'm sure has helped him. But, I would just say this. If Lane Train continues to win at LSU, I think within a year or two, Charlie Weiss Jr. will either move on to the NFL or he'll get his own college opportunity. I mean, he's still very young, but he comes from the Belichick tree and the Saban tree. His father's well respected as an offensive mind, who you're going to talk to tonight on the drive. So he's what I would call a riser in the coaching profession. And so we'll see. And I think the sooner he gets the hell out of Baton Rouge, the better for him.
Over the years, I have gotten
In other words, if they win this year, get out of town fast as you can. So you can separate yourself from Lane Kiffin, who'll try to take all the credit anyway.
On the subject of speed,
I
have gotten the moniker of Tokyo Drift.
Yeah.
Evidently,
we've talked about that.
And I think at some time or not, we've all been pulled over.
Yeah.
There was actually another event when we went for a wing eating contest.
Oh, yeah.
That I got pulled over. I may have been the last time I've been pulled over. But there was an Orlando police officer who arrested a woman for what? How fast you think you're going?
Her speed was way off, according to police in Orlando, Florida. They posted video of this traffic stop to their Facebook page because of the unusual excuse this driver provided for exceeding the speed limit.
What seems to be the hurry? How fast you think you're going? What's the speed limit up here? 60. All right. So you're 136.
That's more than twice the speed limit. She was arrested for dangerous excess of speeds. Cops said on the video posting that a tummy ache is no excuse to drive more than 100 miles per hour on their roadways. People who do, or people who drive 50 miles over the speed limit, could face 90 days in jail and a fine of $1,000.
So yes, 136 miles an hour for a tummy ache.
Not me. I'm not going 136 miles an hour ever.
No. So I know I have the moniker of Tokyo Drift, but this is another level.
No, that's like Cannonball Run on steroids.
Final call for phone calls at 256-576-4977. That is the telephone number. The Tom Abraham Show is up next, and there's Tom. For those of you watching on WZZN TV.
Prepping, getting ready.
Yep, he's right there. So now he's going to be next up here at the BBC, and I imagine he'll get the
and now they're the logos now. Now they're the updated ones. The Blue Hens and Kennesaw State. So that'll be your first game. As his show is winding down at 11:30, there'll be fans in here and basketball underway.
Hey, you're going to have to – this is going to be quite the tap dance for you because you're going to have to work around a national anthem and player introductions.
Yeah.
That's good. No, but this is the CBS
he'll be
table
giving everybody
right
the atmosphere that's coming on. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this is the CBS table.
Atlanta. Owls.
The Owls.
Lady Owls will be taking the
I went to Kennesaw State.
No, they
were a community college back in the day, and here they are.
The Delaware Blue Hens.
That's right. You got the Hens and the Owls coming up at 11:30. That's going to wrap
Battle
us
of the
up.
Birds.
That's going to wrap us up here for our 3-hour tour. The Tom Abraham Show comes up next. I'll be in tomorrow morning as well before I hop on a jet.
There we go.
And head down to Fort Lauderdale.
To Nova again.
Again. There are worse places to go, I guess. I'm just glad they don't charge you to breathe down here.
Yeah.
At least not yet. Have a good day.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.